Okay. All right. Bye bye.
The Chicago
I gotta go.
Bears season is virtually on. Look, it may be down the drain. You see the title of the thumbnail. I said it's down the drain. People may disagree with me, but we just lost to the Patriots. 2-7 Patriots, 19-9, or no, 19-3. Gave us too much credit.
Three.
Um, I got
Alpha
the
better
fellas in
at
the building with
19.
me. My guy Chef West at the bottom of the map. Y'all hear him. And I got
Always.
Devin to the right of me. We're gonna break down the entire game and a lot more right after this.
Fellas.
Fellas, man. I don't know if I
Can I, Mark,
the,
before
the,
before you go out, I gotta do a PSA real
mhm.
quick.
Yes, sir.
So, for anybody who do know, if you don't know, I want to say happy 249th birthday to all my United States Marines brothers and sisters. Today is the Marine Corps birthday. Hoorah! Give them one, kill, semper fi, all of that. You know me. So I do want to let y'all know that today is the Marine Corps birthday. If you know a Marine, you know somebody who know a Marine, wish those mans and they people a happy birthday because it's the Marine Corps
Yeah.
birthday.
Show him some love today. Show him some love. I didn't know
Show him
that,
some
but
love today. Yeah.
you learn something new every day for sure. Um, man, you know
Now we
what,
can get
Wes?
into it. Now we can
You
get
know
into
what,
it.
Wes?
What's
Kick
up,
kick
bro?
us off. Kick us off with the first segment. Talk about this game. I'm gonna let you kick us off with initial thoughts after that. I don't even know what to call it. Initial thoughts of the game, Wes. Talk to
In the
us.
game.
Pathetic, effortless. Um, I keep saying the word unpreparedness because it just feels like we're just unprepared.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't want to keep saying but it's like we spent all week doing what? Playing backgammon and
Mm-hmm.
Candy Crush.
Yep. Yep.
Like we keep saying we have to keep be run heavy to set it down. We keep saying we have to go for these short down. Like think about how we did on the short down passing and short down running. It
Right.
was so good. It's that you want to make a big play, and I get it. It's exciting. I don't want to go back to that Thursday night game where it was like six passes between those two teams, Baltimore and the Ravens. That was like 60, 70 yards. That's great. That's exciting. That's cool. It's a slam dunk.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that ain't what that's not what we here for. We're here for a W. We're here for a win. I don't care
That
about
was a
no,
home game too. Home game.
and it was a home game. You can't. I was talking to somebody there, and I was watching everybody. I watched the Washington game. I watched Bo Nix. I watched even Jaden. I watched all these people. Jazz. Everyone they tight ends, I guarantee you had 50, 60 yards. Go to Travis Kelsey. I guarantee you got 50, 60 yards. Zach Ertz got probably like 50, 60 yards. All these they got 50, 60 yards because you know what? They like, hey, look, we're going to jab. Anybody that watch boxing understands what a jab is. A jab sets up big punches. That's what it is in an offense on a football team. Dump it down to your tight end. Dump it down to your running backs. Dump it down. Take that 4. Take that 5. Boom, 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 boom. Get that defense just like, okay, they're gonna drive all the way down. And giving us specifically, if we can do that down into the 2015-10, we said it yesterday, and I said yesterday, Roshan is gonna capitalize on that. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna happen. But when you first down, 1 and 10 on our own 25, 35, whatever. Judah, I ain't got nothing to say to you, man. I don't even know what to say. But when you got you, it's football is about first downs and inches. You know what I mean? It's spotting the ball. It's that is actual football. Those long 70-yard passes and all that kind of stuff, that's cool. That's Lob City in LA with Chris Paul and fucking what's the light skin dude with the red or ombre
Blake
hair?
Griffin.
Blake Griffin. That's Lobs. That's great. But that don't get you those wins. That don't get you that championship. That don't stand you on the top. I watched the Chiefs game, and dude, they looked stagnant. But I saw Pat Mahomes still do it. I was so grateful on that fourth down in the first half when Caleb ran it for that first down. Yes, get that first down because that's what matters right now. You see what I'm saying? I think we don't understand what matters right now. That's my first thought. That's coaching. And I wish Caleb just throw them the ball because you got to have faith in. You got three really, really good on paper, right? Good receivers. Throw the ball. Make them do it.
Right.
Make them jump. Make them box out a cornerback. Make them, you know what I'm saying, highball a linebacker. Make them do that.
Let me get in here. Let me get in here. My initial thoughts of this game. I It was not 9 sacks. 9 sacks, regardless of if it's look. When Justin was here, he got sacked 9 times as well. We put a lot of the blame on the offensive line, but later on in Justin's career, we started saying Justin's responsible for some of those sacks. Caleb was not responsible for those sacks. Maybe he held the ball on too long. Held the ball too long. That's going to happen. Drake May held the ball too long too. He didn't get sacked 9 times. I see Jaden Daniels when we played. He held the ball a little long. He didn't get sacked 9 times. It's going to happen. Rookies are going to hold the ball too long, especially people. And I hear take the check downs, take the check downs, take the check downs, like Tom Brady or like Peyton Manning made a living off taking the check down. Well, guess what? He's a rookie in game number, what was this, 9?
Yeah.
Takedown's gonna come. That's gonna happen. But I think we're forgetting he's a rookie. And you put your rookie behind probably the worst offensive line I've seen since I've been watching the Bears. So you got Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright, Kevin Jenkins, Coleman Shelton, and then Matt Pryor at right guard. Even this, your starting group is mediocre at best. Now you don't got those dudes because we saw Tevin Jenkins go down in what, the first quarter, was it?
I think it was end of first, beginning of second, somewhere around there. But he goes down every game.
He goes down. We talked about it. He get hurt every game. Whether he leave or come back, he still go down every game.
Or he having a baby or something happening or whatever. He don't know stay.
I hear get the ball out. Get the ball out. Throw the football. Get the ball out. They not open downfield. This great wide receiver core that we thought we had, they're not open. And when they do get open, yes, Caleb misses sometimes. But I also see drops happening on the very few opportunities that we get. Either Caleb gonna miss you, y'all not on the same page for whatever fucking reason in week 9, y'all still not on the same page, or it's a drop.
Yeah. I give you that. My whole thing for Caleb is let them drop it. Let's just blame it on the wide receivers. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with as defending Caleb. I'm okay with, hey, look, I got him on the ball. He just dropped it.
I wouldn't even really call it defending Caleb, though.
I'm really just defending a quarterback, period. Any quarterback. I don't care what quarterback it is.
I think Caleb is going to play like a rookie. Like he's going to do what rookies do throughout this season. But what you have going on around him right now is we just lost to the 2-7 Patriots. We just lost to the 2-7 Patriots. What you got going? We all talked about, and every Bears fan said this is the best situation for a rookie quarterback to come into. That O-line, he had third. That That whole line he had out there protecting him today was a bunch of third stringers at best, across the board. Coleman Shelton is a starter, but come on now. They talked about it on the live
Yeah.
broadcast. That interior pressure it will destroy your passing game every single time. Not to mention, like I said, I don't see the separation. When we do get
Yeah.
completions, I see a lot of tight throws, a lot of
Yeah.
good catches. Good catch, Keenan. Good catch, wrong. It's not like, wow, he was wide open. It's none of that. There's none of that going on. Like he said on the live broadcast, everything seems tough. Whether we're running the ball, whether we're throwing the ball, doing in and rounds, jet sweeps, whatever, everything just seems so tough for this offense to do. I don't know what that is. We talked about maybe taking play calling away from Shane Waldron. We talked about it and who
Yeah.
might take the reins on this offense, but some got to change. You're not
Yeah.
changing the quarterback. That ain't happening. So I mean, I don't know. That ain't happening. Some got to change. Welcome back, Devin.
Sorry about that, guys. I was having some technical difficulties to start the day, so I switched to a different laptop, and that caused the problems that I was dealing with when the show started. So I switched back, and this laptop is doing fine now. So okay, but
Yeah, I just
it's
went
just a
with
bad day
my.
all around. It seems.
Mhm, mhm. Go ahead. Just tell us your initial thoughts of the game. I just went on a little rant, but what's
So
up?
my thoughts are, I was sitting there watching the game, and even when we got the interception, when TJ got the interception, I was excited for him. But after the first punt return by Carter, the really good return,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't do anything
Goes
with. So
hurt
I thought to myself
twice.
that that interception isn't going to be very helpful either. And so the things I was noticing were, it's not just one area that's struggling,
Right.
and the fact that there are multiple areas that are struggling, there is a common factor between all of them. And for me, that's coaching. Your false start penalties and stuff like that, that's on your coaching. Like, they need to have the guys prepared, even if you have a backup left guard.
Exactly.
Okay, even
Great
if
point.
it's somebody that wasn't expecting to play,
Mm-hmm.
when you have stuff like that, you still got to realize that, like, it's on your job to get them ready during the week. It's on your job to make sure that these guys are ready, whether it's
Yep.
the offensive line coach or whether
Yeah.
it's the passing coordinator or offensive coordinator or head coach, any number of
Mm-hmm.
those guys. At the end of the day, that's their job, to coach the team, develop the players and stuff like that. Because you don't need coaches to just call. I mean, like, there are quarterbacks out there who call plays in the game, and to me, it did not feel like they were being effective.
Yep.
And like, it just, like, I don't know. You get to that point, and you don't have you have to realize that, like, sure, they're not the best player out there, but they're not nearly as bad as what they're looking like right now. And it
That's
was
a great
bothering me.
point. I agree with that. We've seen Larry Borum play before. We've seen, but Matt Pryor was our left tackle today.
Yeah.
Matt Pryor was a bench or a backup offensive lineman who finally got settled in when he took Nate Davis' spot at right guard. So he finally got settled in there. I thought he was doing pretty well at
Mm-hmm.
right guard. He could have did better, but it wasn't horrible. Then he got to move to left tackle, the highest paid position on the offensive line. That is, look, I feel bad. I feel bad for Caleb. I don't care because no quarterback in this draft had the pressure he had coming in. Nobody was under. that amount of pressure. It starts at the offensive line. So from the beginning, you are set up to not succeed. I'm telling you, it looks different. When we watch every other team, it looks totally different. I don't care. Even the Patriots, the 2-7 Patriots, watching their pass game look way different. It just looked way different.
I mean, after you brought up that fact about like the silent count stuff and things like that, like I was watching and the Patriots were doing it too.
On the road, it's loud in Chicago,
I mean,
so they're
but
gonna
see,
do
like
it.
I don't think every team does it. I think some teams have to do it. Like some teams have to tap that center to hike the ball.
That's fine. That's fine.
I don't like it.
All the other teams, even Drake May, they're like, hey, look, we know what we got. We know our offensive line is not that great. I saw a graphic that came up. They were like 28th in the league or something, down at where we at. But you know what they did best? They took advantage of their tight ends. They got the ball out quick. They didn't run the ball. They didn't run the ball great at all.
You mentioned tight ends. Austin Hooper was running wide open today.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, because it's like, you understand. My whole thing is, I was saying to people, I was like, look at Austin Hooper. Look at him. He just running. Why don't we think tight ends can catch the ball? When in the last 25 years in the NFL, we've seen the most dominant teams prime person. Even with the Chiefs, with the Patriots, we could talk about them in the last 15 years. Those two teams, their prime objective was Kelsey, Gronk. We gonna make sure we get them the ball. We can have, even with the Patriots. I go back to the Patriots. Even when they had Randy Moss, and we know who he got a style of catch named after him. That anytime a wide receiver does it, you got mossed. You see what I'm saying? But still, Tom Brady still was like, hey, look, I know football and I know my tight end this, my tight end that. And I see 4 targets to Cole Kmet. Improvement. I can see this get improvement on that, but
yeah, 0 last week.
It's 0 last week.
It's hard not to improve when you got 0 1 week.
Right. I'm saying one was great. My whole thing is this. The basis of football. I'm not talking about NFL. I'm not talking about college. I'm not talking about high school. I'm talking about the basis of football is inches. Mm-hmm. You take every inch forward. You go north. You go north every single time. That's like when we was in the back in the green room. I was telling Mark, I was like, I love that 4th down scramble from Caleb, because he said, you know what? I have to get north. You should have that idea on 2nd and 3rd down. Because like you said, your receiver's not getting separation. Just get north. Even if you're not getting a 1st down, okay, cool. But you're getting 3, 4, 5 more yards. Positive. I said it yesterday. Positive yards. You know your offensive line suck. If I'm Caleb Williams, I'm 1, 2, 3. Either I'm throwing it or I'm going 1 yard north. I'm going 6 inches north, 3 inches north. Because after the line of scrimmage is not a sack. If he goes 3 inches past the line of scrimmage, is not considered a sack. You wouldn't have 9 sacks if you. And I'm not saying that, Caleb is bad. I'm just saying, like, we just got to go north. It's what everybody is doing. It's what all I'm doing. Shuffle passes. Something north. You want to say, everybody, old lines suck. All this other. We saw Joe Burrows. I saw him throwing passes. He's still throwing it, getting clobbered.
Oh, Caleb was sacked 9 times. We haven't even talked about all the times he was hit and still got the ball off.
And still got the ball off. My whole thing is this: like,
That man gonna be
you get
sore
it more.
tomorrow.
You get more. I saw Jaden the same way. Throw it in there. I'll take a look. But you know what you're not going to do is sack me. I'll throw it in there. I'll take the penalty. You know why? My offensive line suck anyway. We're gonna probably get a false start, and I'm gonna be back 5-10 yards anyway. So
I
why get
agree.
sacked? Why get hit?
I do think he has to stop taking those sacks that
You
push us
got
out of
to.
field goal range. That's like the third or fourth week in a row he's taking a sack, whether it was before the half or just at the beginning of the drive, the first drive.
Throw it
And he taking a
away.
sack that knocked us out of field goal range. He does need to stop that. And
Throw it away. Throw it away. Throw it in the dirt. Put it on the refs.
yeah,
Let us yell at the zebras about it. Like, oh, that was a bad call. He had a receiver in the area. Something, blah blah, something like that. We can do those debates. But my thing with Caleb is don't die with the cash. You ain't gonna don't die with it. You can have $1 zillion. When you die, you don't have $1 zillion no more. You're dead anyway. That's a sack to me. Throw it away. Throw it down. Put it in the ground. Throw it away. We know it. You said to us in the offseason, I want to be Aaron. Remember how many times we almost got Aaron Rodgers? We were really close. Remember how many penalties Aaron Rodgers
I know
took?
exactly what you about to
Just,
say
you
too.
see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. You know how many penalties he took? Intentional grounding.
Well,
This, that.
but
Because that
I want
frustrates the defense. That
I wanted him
frustrates the
to
defense.
I wanted him to be like Aaron Rodgers in terms of the 3-step drop, get it out 5 yards. I don't
Yeah,
care for the deep shots. I don't care for it
I
because
don't.
you make more taking those 5 to 6 the check down
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
passes than trying to throw it deep. What you was about to say,
well,
Devin? You was about to jump in
I,
there.
I was gonna say that like when we're talking about like yelling at the refs and stuff like that, like there was a time that I was really upset about what I saw from the as far as the refs. It was a time when Caleb had to throw the ball into the dirt because he was being pressured too quickly, and so he threw it, got rid of it. They came and sandwiched him between two players, and that happened as he was getting rid of the ball. So not upset about that, like it happens, but then the player basically picked him up and threw him to the ground, and nothing got called. And so, unfortunately, that bothers me because it's like, well, we have a history of the referees not calling roughing the passer or late hits or whatever. I
Yeah.
was shocked as hell in that fourth quarter, I think, when they called a roughing the passer. And I was like, I was
Because we suck, though,
not
Dad.
surprised.
We
I mean,
suck
I
at
was very
quarterback.
surprised that,
Pat Mahomes would have got it.
oh,
What's the Bills quarterback?
Jared Allen,
Allen, Jared
Josh
Allen would have
Allen.
got it.
Josh
Josh
Allen, my
Allen.
Josh
bad.
Josh Allen would have got it. Jared Goff would have got it. Matthew Stafford would have got it. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, would have got it. You have to be a better quarterback. That's why I'm looking at the comments. Everybody say, "Oh, your quarterback trash." He's not trash. He just has to show his skills and put the blame. Like I'm saying, Caleb has to shift the blame to other people.
Let's move on to our next segment. Initial thoughts. That was a great segment. A lot to say. A lot was out there against a 2-7 team. I mean, it don't get no worse than that. I think they were the worst. I think they had the number one pick locked up before this game, if I'm not mistaken. But we're gonna move to our great and not so great. I don't know how much great we can find from this game, if any. But look, I'll kick it off. TJ Edwards had a pick. That's great. That's a great thing. I'll start with my great. I'm starting with great. I'm gonna get that out the way. TJ Edwards did get a takeaway. The defense got a takeaway. I don't think they had a takeaway in the last like 2 games.
They didn't. Did they
Yeah,
last?
so
I remember a fumble last week. I thought I remember a fumble last week,
they
but
were,
they did
oh,
not get a takeaway against the Commanders.
okay. All right.
But
So
I do
look,
remember a fumble last week. A fumble
TJ
recovery.
Edwards got another one this week. That's a great.
Great.
I mean, that's a silver lining. I'm not necessarily impressed with what I saw on defense. Like I said, there was too many open receivers. Like there wasn't a lot of tough passes we made him throw. He didn't have the best game either, but I mean, you saw in the end zone what they do.
It wasn't
Draw
a
up a
lot of open
play to get your
receivers though.
quarterback a touchdown.
It wasn't a lot of open receivers other than the play you were just mentioning. It was open people who can catch the ball. He didn't throw. I looked at the stats. The receivers didn't do that great.
This game was a snoozer. First of all, it's not like this was an exciting game from either team, but the passes that were completed, like I said, Austin Hooper, I think I saw him catch
Austin
like
Hooper
2 passes,
three
wide
for 64,
and 2 of those 3 were wide open.
2 of those 3 was
got
wide
another
open.
guy,
Demario Douglas, 4 for 50. That's the receiver. Less yards than his tight end.
Look,
Keyshawn
they
Booth.
were open. So, because my point is, Drake May wasn't threading the needle. You know, it didn't look hard for them, their passing game. But look, that's my great. TJ Edwards. My not so great is going to be the entire. Where I could pick anything, like everything. It was so much
entire
wrong.
Offense.
I'm going with the O-line. The entire O-line was horrible. Just horrible. I don't care if they were third stringers. Do you want me to do? Should I put that on Ryan Post?
They weren't horrible. They weren't horrible.
So one of the things I was thinking about today, you know how like we talked about earlier, like before the trade deadline, the O-line is set because you're not going to get a good offensive lineman in mid-season and stuff. No teams are trading away their first string offensive lineman. I'm sorry to say, but at this point, I would take some teams' second string offensive linemen over ours. Like we talked yesterday about like our offensive linemen would be second strings in a lot of other places. Well, if their second strings could potentially be better than what we have out there, like our second strings wouldn't even be on other teams.
Yeah.
So if we're dealing with second strings right now, that's the problem I'm seeing is that other teams' second strings could outdo our first string.
Remember, our general manager did say this is the deepest offensive line room he's been around.
Deepest.
So
he didn't say talented. He didn't say talented.
Deepest. Deep. It's not deep.
I mean, I would say it maybe is kind of deep considering the fact that they got 4 players on that were injured coming into the game. They put out an offensive line. One of them got hurt, and they still had a guy that was able to step in. You go to most other teams.
Talented. Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah. You go to, I mean, talented, no. But
definitely not deep. Just because they got a lot of bodies.
The bodies there.
That's what defense means, Mark.
Well, hold on. There's no team that's gonna run out of offensive linemen to play a football game. I'm gonna let y'all know that now. You're not going to run out of offensive linemen. So yes, every team has enough linemen.
I can tell you right now that if we needed to, I think they would put Cole Kmet on the offensive line before they run out of an offensive line.
Best blocker all game.
Who, Cole Kmet?
Look at every successful run over 5
plenty of times.
He was
getting blown.
He was pancaking defensive ends. 4 times. I counted 4 times he pancaked the defensive ends.
Kmet could have played a better game especially in the blocking game.
No
wide receiver route running. I'm sure he was open and Caleb missed him, but there was some of those run plays where Swift would like bounce it out. That's because the hole got blown up.
He ran to a different side. 85. No, it wasn't. No, I don't know what football game you watch. I will watch the tape again this week, and if you're right, Mark, I'll give you. I have no.
I'll probably forget about it because there's so much.
I watched every more than 5-yard run that we did, and the run was towards Cole Kmet's block.
I'm sure he has some good blocks. I mean,
Great blocks.
he
He
has some.
pancaked 5 defensive ends this game. I
Okay,
watched every single
so
one.
why don't you give us your great and not so great?
Oh, shit. Well, I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I only could be redundant with you because that was the great was TJ. That's the only great we had.
That
But
was the one
to
time
go
that I
to
felt like I could cheer.
yeah, the second.
I'm trying to think right now too. I'm trying to see if I can find.
I'll give it to. I got a great. I'm gonna give it to Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson.
Okay.
He was in there. I seen him doing run stops. You know, I
I
seen
don't
him
think that I
in
heard
the
his name
backfield
called at all
tackling.
except one time because they never
Yeah,
even throw to him.
they didn't throw to him. I mean, that's not his fault. That's
No, I'm
a
saying like
great for him.
that is
Yeah,
his fault. He does his
yeah,
job and
yeah. He
covers it
does his
well.
job. He does his job, and I think he had like 2 or 3 actual run stops where,
I
like I
saw
said,
one of the ones you're talking about where he kind of came in
yeah,
from the side and just
came
kind of
in from the
wrapped
side
up
and
the
came
legs.
in and wrapped him up and put him down. You know what I mean?
He had one
Uh,
where they tried to throw the screen out there, and he got that holding
he
call.
got
Was
that
he?
holding call.
Oh yeah,
He had that play.
Mhm,
That's why I say
mhm.
if I can't say TJ, I'll give
Right.
it to JJ. Um, not so great.
Pick. It's so many out there you can just reach up and grab.
Uh, what was your not so great again, Mark? What did you say? Because I know
O
you said
line, of
yours.
course. Yeah, O
O
line.
line, O line, O line, O line.
Mhm.
I'm definitely off that bumper. Um, Shane Waldron.
Okay.
I didn't see great. I didn't see good. I didn't even see. I can barely speak the words of okay, given what you just
I
did.
can't go okay.
I can't even. I can't. I am remiss. Let me get my thesaurus. I'm remiss to say that you were okay. We supposed to ran the ball on them. They're the 28th offensive. Their offensive line, as far as metrics go, is
Right.
technically worse than ours.
Yep.
We were supposed to have more than 16 carries for 59 yards on 3.7 yards a carry.
That's on Shane or the O line.
That's on Shane.
Okay.
Exploit the O
calling more run
line.
plays would be on Shane.
Exploit that O line. The only person I forgot what his name is 90 something Keon something that played for them. I can't think of his name. I look. I can
No
look up real
idea.
quick. He's one of their defensive linemen. He got pancake back Cole Kmet, by the way, too. What the fuck? Keon White, 99. 4 total tackles or whatever. But they was highlighting him in the whole thing. But his out of his 4 total tackles, 2 of them was remember what I said yesterday. Football is not about the 59 plays you run. It's about the 6 that you do really, really well to change the game. 2 of his plays changed that game. And I don't think the O-line was terrible. They wasn't great. I didn't expect them to be this is not the number 1 offensive line in the league. They're 20 something in the league.
That ain't
a lot
20
of clean
something.
pockets.
That your starters, that O line was bottom for sure. Well, we
Bottom. That's
started
what I'm
out there today
saying.
was 32,
That's the bottom.
33, 34.
I was gonna say 34.
I saw clean pockets. I
Sometimes.
saw 4 seconds. 27 times. I counted. I watched 1, 2, 3. If you're not gonna do it, get the ball out of the pocket. Scramble and just throw it away. We'll try again. That's my problem. Throw it in the dirt.
mean, to your case with Shane, though, if you don't want to put it on the O line, you know what O line you're bringing in. All your
Yes.
plays should be tailor made to the strength of your O line. You can't be
I,
calling
I've been
these
I've been
20-yard
saying it
routes.
for a month and a half. I've been saying it a month and a half. KYP, know your personnel. We knew him on week 1. We knew this was a 27th, 28th offensive line at best. As deep as we is at best, we're still 27th, 26th at best. And I know the PFFs, I know the ratings coming into the season said we was like 17, 16. Mark, you even said it like that's crazy that people think we mid-tier offensive line coming into the season. You said that's why you don't like PFF. You don't like their ratings. You said that's stupid. No, we're not. We're more like 26, 27 coming in fully healthy. Everybody, we're like 27th. As the offensive coordinator, if I know that, I'm moving up. I'm moving it. I'm moving it. Shift. Don't worry
Did you
about
see
Brock.
them move the pocket twice? And like the first
Twice.
time was horrible though.
Twice.
Like
The first time was horrible.
it was
The
like
second time was
That was
great.
okay.
The second time was great.
I
It
mean,
was like a first
they
down to
didn't
Keenan
get
Allen.
anything from it.
No,
but
the
see,
second
yeah,
time it was a
that's the
first down to
issue with
Keenan
moving
Allen.
the pocket. You're cutting the field in half.
That was when
That's what Washington does, though.
Washington does what?
That's what
They
Washington
moved
does.
the
They
pocket
move the
like that.
pocket. Yeah.
I'm
They
sure
move the
they got
pocket
a
to the
few
right.
plays in there, but they're not cutting off. I'm saying like we moved the pocket. We cut when you cut off the whole left side of the field or opposite side of the field when you do
Look,
that. I'm not saying don't do it.
I
I'm just
look.
saying that there's pros and cons to doing it.
It is pros and cons to doing it. Do not get me wrong. I get that much. But Washington was this. Jaden, they like, hey, look, Jaden is way better rolling right, moving the pocket right, throwing right. This is who we
I
got
hate
throwing the
talking about
ball.
Jaden Daniels right
Let's
now.
just have him do that. You know what I mean? It's like if we have a shitty offensive line, hey Caleb, what would you like? I want a pocket so I can throw, so I'm gonna throw it. That ain't happening, dude. What's the second thing you want? It's like kids and Christmas gifts. My daughters want an Oculus and an iPad and an iPhone and an Apple Watch and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I see what you want, baby, but daddy's gonna get gift 3 or 4 because I'm a hardworking American. I can't afford everything that you want. I'm not Kanye or somebody that got tons of money. We don't have that great thing going on. So this is what I'm going to give you. I think that's the problem. Shane Waldron thinks in his mind, hey, I can run 5 protections all the time, empty backfield all the time with this shitty ass offensive line with a rookie quarterback. Because I got all these weapons. I got Cole Kmet, I got Swift, I got this. It should work. It should. No, we knew that week 2 that's not the case. Shift change. That's why I say I wouldn't even say not so great. I wouldn't use the word. Just negligence. You want to give Ryan Poe negligence from yesterday? Mark? Negligence on Shane Waldron's part. You know who your offensive line is. You know Tevin Jenkins might even make it through a game. We know that. How many games he went out this year?
So
I would say 6 out of that 9 and we played.
So you're great, Jalen Johnson. You're not so great, Shane Waldron, which I completely agree with.
Yeah,
that it was stale. That whole shit was stale. Devin, talk to us. Great, not so great.
It's kind of hard to have a great, but I kind of have one. There are a few, and even if it's just like a few moments, like I was watching. I got a few times I was pretty impressed by Gervon Dexter. It wasn't necessarily all game, but there was one of the times when it was like 3rd and 1, and they tried to run it up the middle, and they had Gervon Dexter. They had somebody blocking him, like all up on him, wrapping him up, and he turned sideways and just kind of like took the guy down instead, and just kind of put up a wall just himself and stopped the runner and then just pushed him backwards.
That was 3rd and 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3rd and 1. And so they ended up having a punt.
Yeah.
And there were a couple other times when like I saw him do some good things in
Yeah.
like going in there on close yardage or short yardage plays where they need just a little bit to get through and not be and just stopping them. So those were good things that I can see. And in a game like today, I was hoping that I wouldn't have to look for like 2 or 3 plays to see something good.
Mm-hmm.
Was hoping that there would be more options to choose from. But even one of my go-tos, which is usually Tory Taylor, if like I don't have anything else, he didn't have that great of a first punt. It looked like maybe it was tipped. I don't think it necessarily was, but it like they closed in on him very quickly, and that pressure affected his punt, and it only went maybe like 20 plus yards. And that was when he was kicking at his own like 50. And so he should have been able to be able to get a punt off that goes back as far as like the 10-yard line or something, but only going like 10 yards or 20 yards or whatever. That was not his best punt. I mean, he
Mhm.
seemed to have some pretty good ones later on when he was punting from his own end zone and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Like he was able to at least drive them back to like the 30-yard line and stuff. But like our special teams play today was not it didn't benefit us as much. But I don't think I'll make that my not so great just because of the fact that like when it comes down to it, like this was not on the special team. Like the loss is not because of special teams. Like so my not so great is probably gonna be I don't know. I mean
You're not so great.
There's a
I
lot.
can name off a few for you.
Hey, look, you want me to help you?
I mean, but see, the problem is that it's too many
You
choices.
want
Yeah, I
to?
mean
You want to?
we were 1 for 14 on third down. They were 5 for 4,
Well,
but
Terrible.
see, yeah, that
1 for 14 actually. I said 13. 1 for 14.
the part that I didn't like was we couldn't even convert on the short. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yep.
when it was or 3rd and 3, and we still can't convert, and not only that, we can't convert in a way where it's now 4th and 5, and I think we ended up having to go for that one, but
We went for 4 of them.
It's
Fourth
four of
downs.
them.
But like,
Four of them.
but see that's what happens when you get yourself behind. You have to go for it a lot earlier because you don't have a choice because you need to get 2 touchdowns. And
But
at one point in like the second or third quarter, they brought up a statistic that we had 19 consecutive drives without scoring a touchdown, and that only got worse.
Yep.
yep.
And
2 games.
uh,
2 games, no touchdowns.
now it's 2 games, but in that 2 games, we've had quite a few drives. It's not like we're just like we're always like only getting a couple of drives or whatever, but like we're getting a lot of drives because our defense is legitimately giving us opportunities and stuff. But then like today, they had one of their drives in the fourth quarter that ate up 6 minutes. And
Yep.
I just don't understand it. And
What's up, Wes?
Coaching. It's coaching. I hear you, Dev. And my whole thing is like when you were saying, it's like 3rd and 3, like that one play where we brought Roman motion across, down there for like 3 yards for like a first down or something like that. That's what you do. You only want, and this is my biggest gripe about us. It's we usually only need like 3 or 7 yards for a first down. And I get it. We can harp on. I can harp on Shane Warden. We can harp on the O line. We can harp on Caleb's inaccuracy and stuff. But when it's 2nd and 4, 3rd and 7, it's a simple. Hey, let's do a play where we put majority of the defense on one side of the field and we do just just a rubber. Even like I was pissed about the screenplay to DJ in the simple
Because
fact of
everybody's seen it coming. That was the first time
everybody
you
seen
went
it
to him that
coming.
game.
It was three
Facebook.
defenders on that side. Check down, do something else. Hey, Cole, chip block and just wheel right. I think it was a second down. I think it was like a second down or something. Hey, chip block, bro. Hey, coach, stand up. Hey, I see Tom Brady. Hey, Gronk, stand up. It's you can Google it because Tom Brady saw that our screen pass wasn't going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna tell Gronk, stand up. When Gronk hears stand up, he know run out 3 yards, turn around. I'm gonna throw you the ball. Even if you don't get the first, even if it's 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 5, go 3 yards out, catch the ball,
And
and then
that's
turn
another
around.
problem. That's chemistry. You're speaking on chemistry. These dudes, they don't have chemistry.
And that's my point too. They don't have that type of chemistry, and that's coaching. Like I can see that after 9 weeks. I can be I won't say offensive coordinator, but I could be the receiving coordinator and say, hey, look, this is what we need to be doing in certain situations. Football is situational. A lot of people think it's these, like I said, it's these big runs. That's talent. It's these big plays. Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase. Justin Jefferson is just Randy Moss is Randy Moss. T.O. is T.O. Ocho Cinco is Ocho Cinco. Their talent precedes play calling. They just take advantage of it more.
Well, something's clearly going on because now Caleb Williams is 0-2 when playing other rookie quarterbacks, and thank God we don't play Bo Nix this year because I don't know, Denver defense would probably cause this offense some problems. He 0-2, he got outplayed again. If you look at the numbers, I mean, the passer rating, like I said, Drake May didn't do
Terrible.
too well, but that's
And he
another
threw
one.
an interception though.
And he threw a pick, and his
He
passer
threw
rating is
a
still
pick,
better.
and his passer rating is still better. You know why? Because he throwing it. He took that chance. He took that chance to his.
It
He
didn't
said,
work
"Look,
out for him, but at least he went for it.
that's all I'm saying for Caleb. Like, go
I
for
don't
it,
want
dude.
Caleb throwing picks. I don't know
I
what
don't
that's
want him
about. I
throwing
don't.
picks. That's not what I'm saying, Mark.
Because
What
he's
I'm
like I said,
saying is,
he's throwing the ball. He threw the ball 30 times. Drake May threw it 25. I mean, maybe he
But
could have threw
they're
it 40
they're
times.
like, I don't know. I definitely feel like there were times that he held onto the ball instead of trying to get something. He held onto the ball and then took a sack.
Yes,
that's
and
frustrating.
I agree. I can't deny he's holding on to the ball. Justin held on to the ball. Mitch held on to the ball. Drake May holds on to. He's going to hold on to the ball. I don't know.
But
He's not going to do it. I'm sorry. He's a rookie.
my whole thing is this,
In
Mark,
game
is this.
9, it's going to
I
happen.
I understand holding on to the ball, but you have to offset that with actually throwing it. If you're going to hold on to it 10 times, throw it 10 times. You
He threw
got
it
to
30
counteract
times.
it. I'm
He threw it
saying
30
so.
times. So
He
I don't
held on it more than 15 of those times.
Oh my God.
He
Okay.
held, I counted,
Look.
and that's my thing is throw
I'm
it,
not throwing the
throw
ball
it.
if they're not open. I'm not doing that. Like these dudes aren't open. They're not.
But they
The
wasn't
A lot
open
of the
for Bo
throws.
Nix, and eventually he got that open one. That's what
Look,
I'm saying.
Drake May's touchdown. Beautiful drawn up play. They were on the 1 yard line and they could have ran it on first down. They didn't. Give your rookie quarterback another touchdown. Draw it up because that's what you do. That's your job. We're not getting
Because
that.
they know their rookie quarterback gonna throw the ball. Caleb would
Okay.
have pump fake and held it. He would have
I
held it too
wish.
long.
Okay, I wish. This is my thing. I wish that was the issue. Like I wish him not throwing the ball was the issue because that
It's not the
we have
only issue, but it
no.
is
We
a
have
issue.
major problems going on with this team. Um,
So you
Surrounding the
thought
rookie
so
quarterback.
you thought all the wide receivers for the Patriots got great separation?
I think they got way more than we did. Yes.
Wide
I wasn't
receivers,
the only
not
one
no no
saying
no 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 no
he was
wide
saying it on the live
receivers.
broadcast. Yeah,
I know,
I
not the tight
think
ends,
they
not
got
Hooper,
no.
not
That's
Austin Hooper. I
the
said the
pass
wide
catchers
receivers,
got open more than
not the
ours.
pass catchers. I said the wide receivers.
Yes, the wide receivers too. I don't care how you want to slice it up. The wide receivers, the tight ends, all they were open. DJ Moore's not getting open. Keenan
He
Allen
definitely
is
not.
Keenan Allen had was our leading receiver, but the throws he did catch were tight window throws. He was catching it and shaking the
But
dude
that's your
off of him.
job. That's your job. That's why we pay you millions of dollars. It's your
Yes, you can
job
do that to
to
get
throw it at the
10.
tight windows.
Let me
To
see
get
how
10
many
yards,
completions. No. 16. He has 16 completions. You can do that to get 16 completions. You can't do that to get 25. You need some easy ones. You need some layups. It's called layups, and we don't get layups. We don't have them.
and you know
Every
why
throw
they
we
had
make has to
layups?
be tough.
I go back. I go back to why the Patriots had layups and we didn't? Because they used the receivers that they have. 69 is eligible as a receiver. Called in for eligible receiver. If as a lineman, all right, cool. He's an eligible receiver. You're not throwing to your like I said, he targeted Cole Kmet. I'm happy that he's targeted him to this game. I'm so happy that he did.
Sure did.
But I watched 5 football games, and every time I looked up, tight ends was open. You know why? Because of the simple fact that they were doing both. It was a balance. It's a dance. And I blame that mainly on Shane Waldron. But at the same time, I'm like, Caleb, throw it at his knee, throw it at his hip, throw the ball away. You would have had 5 sacks instead of 9.
Maybe.
I watched yeah, maybe. Right. I'm just saying maybe. This is not facts. I'm not speaking facts. I'm just saying what I would expect.
Of course.
But I seen Jaden trying to go down and win a game, and 2 of the plays he did, he just threw the ball down into the dirt. Because I don't need it. I don't need the sack.
Jaden has nothing to do with this. Zero.
What he don't? Every quarterback.
You know what Jaden has? You know what Jaden has?
What?
A head coach that we interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
The offensive coordinator that we interviewed.
Mm-hmm. That's not on Caleb. That's not on the 53 players on the roster. That's on the organization. That's different. And like I said, my main person who owns even yesterday, what I say, I gave 50% of the pot to who? Coaching. I'm not even be mad at this offensive line because we know who they is. I'm not finna be
Ryan Post. That
I'll give he falls into he falls into the administration portion of it. That's all of that. All of them. I will not blame the players on the field for that. I can't blame the offensive line for being who they are.
Absolutely not. They're going to play every time they get the opportunity.
Every time they get that opportunity.
Absolutely not.
You just not better than the others than what you're doing. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So but I can say to Caleb this, what we said and what everybody was saying before the season started. Oh, he got the offensive book. He's learning. He's so smart. I ain't never heard nobody say, "Hey, look, Caleb don't understand." Like he went to the board and failed. I forgot what quarterback it was that they said. I think it was last draft or whatever. Who blew teams away on their knowledge, their IQ of the game. Like your boy LeBron, his IQ of the game is just tremendous. Draymond Green, his IQ of the game is tremendous. Don't worry about his talent, his IQ. Caleb has the IQ of the game. Offset that from your coach. Offset that from JJ Redick and Darvin Ham, LeBron, and all those people, because I know too. Caleb is better than that mentally.
He needs an O-line to protect him. He is a rookie quarterback, so he's gonna do rookie things,
Yeah.
and rookies need
I-
protection. And children need protection. Wes,
uh,
we are going. Let's look. Let's get coach in here. We'll listen to coach. We'll listen to Caleb. I got him up.
yeah.
Wes, you got some grades for us after that
Oh,
press conference break?
I got grades. Ain't not
All right, we'll
good,
do
but
some
I would
grades.
not be happy to show this report card to my parents.
uh-uh. Ain't nobody,
we'll do
ain't
we'll,
nobody
we'll listen
GPA
to the
getting them
coach.
no
We'll listen to
scholarship.
Caleb. Do some grades. Give out some blame game, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Look, if you're tuning in right now, appreciate it. Hit
Thank
that
you.
like button, subscribe to the channel, the Black Bear Podcast. One word, no
No
spaces. Got
spacing.
my guy Devin in the building to the right, Chef West at the bottom of the map.
Always by myself.
Um,
I'll just fuck around. But yeah, shout out
let
to
me bring up
Lola,
Coach. Let me bring
my
up
girl.
Coach. In the chat, very active in the chat. Appreciate that for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. She coming
For
back. She
sure,
coming
for
back from
sure.
Vegas. She didn't get to see her game. She pissed. And her Caleb
Give me a
Williams jersey.
second. Give me a second. Okay. Let me get this together. Like Bear Truth already checked it out.
That must have been why he was a little late hopping into the chat. Was he was watching the press conferences? Makes sense though. I mean, after I'll be honest with you, after that game, I didn't even want to keep watching football. I just kind of like turned off the TV, just kind of sat there for a bit.
I don't know why I cannot.
I hear you, Dev. It just sucks. Like right now, I'm at the point of we're not gonna make the playoffs. We need and I don't even think it's mainly, and I know everybody. I'm just so tired of the O line conversation. It's ridiculous, but I think we need and I know we don't want to redo it again and all of that and the storyline of that, but man, at least get a new offensive coordinator. You want to keep
I
Flus?
don't, I don't think that's going to be enough right now. Like, if you're going to change up
I
the
don't think it's
offense
enough.
on Caleb, like my thing is, if you're going to change up the offense, like the reason that you keep Flus is to not change things and make Caleb have to learn all these new things that like Justin and Trubisky did. And if you're going to change the offensive coordinator and bring in a new one who's going to change things anyways, get rid of everybody.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if you need to get rid of everybody on the defensive side, but at least give the option when if you bring in a new head coach, at least give them the option of who do they want to keep.
I'll keep our
And
defensive coordinator. I don't think we need to go
see
get
that's
Salah.
it though. Like if you hire somebody that comes in and they want to bring in they a defensive coordinator that they've worked with, maybe at a previous job or something like that. Personally, I'd be more inclined to let the head coach that you bring in make those decisions as opposed to sticking him with somebody, you know?
I am at the point I didn't want to say it yesterday. I did the research the last couple weeks of, and I know it's not what we uh would like to see because we don't want that narrative of the Justin Fields, what happened with him, the Mitchell happened. But honestly, I am doing everything I can to bring in Ben Johnson.
and
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 on top of that, I'm doing everything to bring in Ryan Sala. I mean Robert Sala. That's my
from the
defensive
Jets.
coordinator. Yeah, that's my defensive
And see
coordinator.
that's what I'm thinking. Except you, my goal, bring it, get rid of all of the defensive or all of the offensive coaches. Just clean house. There is not
Bring
a
what you want to
single.
bring in, but that gives
Get rid
us
of the wide receivers coach. Get rid of the passing game
all
coordinator.
of
Get
them,
rid of the
all of them.
running backs coach. All of it. Like
Bring it
there
if
isn't
you
a
want to.
single thing.
If you want to bring somebody else in, you don't feel Chad Morton or Jennifer King or I can't think of what's the offensive line coordinator. Because the crazy thing is, the last 2 years, 3 years,
Offensive line
uh,
coordinator, I
our
think,
offensive line
is
coordinator is I
Chris
know his
Morgan.
face, Chris Morgan. Yeah, Chris Morgan, who has right now, we have the best run percentage under that offensive line coordinator, all that kind of stuff. But that is Justin Fields. That's not him. So my thing is, at this point right now, other than saying we made the wrong draft pick, bring in Ben Johnson, bring in an offensive head coach. I said it. I said it over the
See, you
offseason.
you bring in Ben Johnson and you don't make the choice though. Like that's my thing. Don't make the choice for him on
No.
who should be the other coach. Like
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
in a
Let him bring
guy
it.
and then let him bring in the people. Like if you want to experiment with Ben Johnson, which people have been asking for a couple years, bring him on.
He was interested last year. He was
I mean,
interested last year.
bring him
So
in. I mean, he has done well as far as being an offensive coordinator for the Lions. I
yeah.
don't I don't know much else about him, but if that's what you want to do, bring him in and
I would say, listen.
let him be in charge of who we bring
You
in as
talking
like
Ben
the defensive
Johnson?
coordinator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Ben Johnson. He loves condensed formations. He don't worry about the motions. Uh, he likes to collaborate with players. I did research on him. I got a whole page on him. Uh,
It sounds like what they said about
flexibility.
Shane Walker. Very teachable, adaptable.
Oh no, oh no. That's I didn't research it, so I don't know. That's what they said. That's cool. I hear you, Mark. But I didn't deep dive into it.
Right.
I deep dived into him. And he loves individual packages, which means that what Ben Johnson loves is to say, hey, I know Mark can go do this, and this is when I want Mark to get the ball. And we're going to run this Mark play just to Mark on this time in this situation. Oh, I know Dev does this well, and this is Dev, and we're in a position in a situation that Dev does this well. Hey, this is Chef West's turn. This is what he does, and we're going to go to him. Not like, hey, I'm going to give my quarterback free reign, rookie quarterback at that, free reign to decide who does what well based off what he thinks.
Facebook user said that was waiting to hear y'all thoughts on this shit. 12 points in 2 weeks. Look, appreciate you waiting on us to comment. Look, man, it's a lot going on. Wes put it on the coaching. I put it on the O line.
You took the
We
easy route.
yeah, we definitely got to figure out this Facebook user stuff. And then
Yeah,
you said I took the easy route.
of course you
I
Oh,
did.
mean, O line is pretty, but see, so did West. I mean, the coaching is pretty bad too. So it's
No,
easy
no,
to
no, no,
blame
no. I
coaching and it's
expected
easy to blame.
more. I expected just more. I expected more. Like the way the offensive line is, it's like they didn't do nothing. It was a couple games and a couple times where I was like, okay, Eberflus, okay, Shane Waldron. okay, I think y'all might know. We all said that. We might, everybody say, oh, maybe they got something going, all this other kind of stuff as far as coaching goes. But then when I realized y'all hit a actual coach, what's the head coach for the Patriots again? He was
Gerard Mayo.
Gerard Mayo. He's a linebacker for the Patriots when they won Super
Yep.
Bowl. Am I wrong?
Mm-hmm.
He was a linebacker. He has no
We know what we
coaching
talking
really.
about. We
You know what I
know
mean?
linebackers usually know what they're talking about.
Of
TJ
course.
Edwards sure does.
No, I feel
You
the
see what I'm
point you're trying to
saying?
make.
You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? My point is
I mean,
this.
he's
Like,
not like some like head coaching guru out there. Just like
then
this
fine. We
is
should
his
go get
first
Lance
year as a head
Briggs.
coach.
Right,
Let's
he
go get
just getting
Lance.
started in this, so he
Yeah,
trying to
and
get
this head
his
coach stuff. Let's go
experience.
get Lance Briggs. We saw
And
him
he
talk about
outcoached
us,
us.
and he outcoached us. Let's go get Lance Briggs then.
Let's
I gotta go ahead.
let's
Is he
listen to
gonna
Matt
play?
Eberflus and then listen to the quarterback. Wes, while this is going on,
I feel like Singletary would be a
get them
choice.
get them grades ready. We gonna come right to you after this. But first, Matt Eberflus on this loss. Let me make sure it's not muted. Here we go.
Tevin Jenkins ruled out with the right ankle. We'll see where that is. Moore was concussion protocol. And then Nate Davis came in this morning, as you guys saw, and had back. His back tightened up on him. You saw Andre, the trainer, before the game. Andre ruled him out, and then we sent him home because we don't want a guy standing on 2 feet with them.
Come on. It was just getting good.
I don't think it was getting good.
So this game right here, obviously, as a head football coach, all disappointed, accepting accountability, for everything, and then really just looking inward at myself first, and that's what I asked the players to do too, and the coaches. We got to take a good hard look at everything that we're doing and play good complementary football. I thought we started the game out solid, in terms of having some momentum there with the big return, with the interception and those types of things. And we have to do a good job of capitalizing on those to create momentum early. And the great thing I told the players is that I said that we have evidence on tape of doing that. It'd be different if you didn't have any evidence. We have evidence of that. And it's the same guys in the room, same guys in the circle. So it's important that we find a way to get that done. And the only way to get that done is pulling together. It's not about pulling apart. And there's going to be a bunch of outside noise, as we know. And I told them that. I said, but you know what we have to do? We have to pull together to find the answers. Because we have all the answers that we need in the room. And we have evidence on that on tape. And in games, playing great complementary football, playing with great passion.
This dude,
this year. And that's the one thing to look forward to. But again, we can take a hard look, inward look, accept accountability, and then be accountable to the guy to the right and the guy to the left. And that's how you do this thing. When you have adversity like this, that's how you pull together. And that's the only answer you can have. But again, like I said, I'll take full responsibility for it.
You talk about accountability and responsibility. What in a performance like this, what specifically are you accountable for that should have been better?
The whole thing, right? The operation of it.
Specifically, he says the whole
kicking,
thing.
That's the job of the head coach. And so to me, that's accountability for everything.
How do you defend your work as head coach when it looks this bad?
Yeah, well, I would just say that. I would just go back to we have the men in the room, and we have evidence on tape of doing it. We've played some good complementary games in terms of offense, defense, and kicking, and we've scored points. A few games in a row. And done a good job of that. So we have to find the winning way and our winning formula to get that done.
Offense can't consistently find ways to play complementary football. The team just won't win games. Ultimately, you're going to be held accountable to that. perhaps maybe even to the point of termination. Coach, my question to you is,
Oh my gosh,
are you willing
termination.
to be fired without ever exploring the possibility that the offense could be better with better offensive game planning and play?
Yes, termination.
Wow.
Yeah, like I said, we'll look at everything. I think it's look from everything from the top to the bottom and making sure that we're finding the answers to move the ball on the field, play better as a football team on offense, defense, and special teams.
Change in offensive play caller is on the table this week.
I just said we're looking at everything. Everything's going to be looked at.
You gotta snap back at the guy.
Weren't we
like I
just talking
said.
about changing the play
again,
caller?
We'll go back and look. Again, there were several things. Protection was broken down a little bit. In terms of the route disciplines, all those things. It's always everybody, right? It's always everybody. When you give up 9 sacks, is that something that you don't want to have happen? But again, it's an everybody thing. That's rhythm and timing of the quarterback. That's protection of the offensive line. That's route disciplines of the guys running the routes. It's all that. It's all that at the same time. So it's an everybody thing.
Is there a risk if there aren't changes made tomorrow to show tangible change that you could lose the locker room?
No, I don't think so. I do believe those guys, they have faith in us working together. I believe in our football team. I believe in the leaders in the football team. And, we'll just have to get back to work.
You guys were in an unusual situation this year where you had the number 1 overall pick, but you also had a roster that was built to win right away. Do you worry that what has happened the last couple of weeks has the potential to do damage to Caleb beyond this year? I mean, getting quarterback sacked 9 times, going through some of these struggles with the expectations. Do you have to make sure that you keep him on the same trajectory that you want him?
Yeah, Caleb's strong. He's strong.
That's the
inside,
only
he's
thing
strong
that
outside.
matters.
He's a strong individual, and he's been through adversity, and he knows how to do this. He knows how to get through adversity by together.
He better.
And, and we got to pull it together with everybody else, too. So it's important that we get that done moving forward.
Yeah, the results where they are. Why do you believe this locker room is still invested in believing?
Yeah, I just know the men in the room. I know the men there. I know how they work during practice. I know those guys. I've built tight relationships with those guys, and they're going to work and pull together to get this thing done.
Matt, what has to be different? Because the message has been kind of similar the past couple of weeks about getting the offense going. So how do you guys find a different route?
Yeah, like I said, you got to
watching.
Go,
hit the
go
like
all the way down
button
to it
for
and
us,
look at everything.
Subscribe.
I think
Black Bear
part
Podcast.
of it.
Support the channel. Help us grow.
We need a spark in there. We need to be able to move the ball in the scoring zone to be able to score when we get there.
We need to move the ball in the scoring zone to be able to score.
Your assessment of the end of the first half. Okay. The game kind of got away from you guys in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, we just need to play better there. Defense, we needed to play better there. They had a drive, until they convert on. You get a couple of chunk plays. We just got to play better there as a group. And then the 2-minute drive at the end. We had them at the 50 there. And they completed that long. So again, we just got to do a better job as a group.
Where do you feel like Caleb is in terms of his NFL clock, in terms of when to get rid of the ball? Like in terms of his development, where is he with that specific part?
Well, I think everything's developing. Everything's developing. He's a young quarterback. He's only played.
Talking about him holding the ball too long.
And again, every experience is different, and he's got to learn from that experience and exposure. So it's a developing thing. It's never going to be like this all the way through. And again, we're going through some adversity right now, but the only way to pull through that is to pull together.
With the exception of last week, the defense hasn't given up more than 21 points today. Kicking game when you guys in field position about most of the game. Is it fair to look those guys in that and say you guys got to do more when they all see 3 points, 9 points, and say, hey, we're doing our
I do think it's fair because we're a football team. If we're all part of a football team, we need to score one more point than the opponent. So when you don't do that, whatever the score is, it's all of us. So that's the way we look at it.
When was the first time that it raised a concern with you that there's a disconnect between Shane and his offense and the players running it?
Yeah, like I said, we'll have to look at everything. We're going to look at everything there on offense, defense, and kicking. Right now, when you lose 3 games, there's a disconnect, not just on offense. It's about playing complementary football, helping each other out, seizing opportunities, and creating momentum. So that's what it's about.
There are checks from fans calling for your job and frustration there. Did you hear that, and how do you respond to that?
Yeah, just get back to work. I know it's part of the job. It's part of it, but you got to stand strong. You got to be the same leader that you've always been, and make the necessary adjustments that you need to make. Be strong and courageous throughout it all. Look at each other in the eye, tell each other the truth, and that's how I know to do it.
I'm getting sick of his little platitudes.
Drives without a touchdown. And it's not just today. Back to the Washington game, the problems.
Yeah, the same thing. Same thing. We got to find that. Look at everything. We got to do there. Find the structure.
Thank you.
Oh,
I'll be
man.
honest with you. I'm not a fan of his little
I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked they asked him about his job.
I'm not.
I don't know. I don't like his little you gotta look at the guy next to you and look him in the eyes and all that. Dude, just
meme. It's a meme.
It's
a meme.
like after a while, these things that you're saying just sound fake.
Like a meme, inspirational post.
Exactly. Like you're using those to kind of say something without really saying anything.
Because you have no idea what you're doing.
I did like that he kind of snapped back at that one guy who kind of asked him twice.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go through the interviews. Who we got? Caleb Williams.
I don't know. So I'm with Bear Truth. There's only so much soul searching, inner searching, whatever you want to call it. There's only so much introspection that you can do.
Do your fucking job. I was just saying,
at a certain
you
point,
can go do it.
You gotta be able to. They say all these things though, all these things about looking at tape and stuff like that, and then if it's not transitioning to field play, if they're going out there and they're looking and they're legitimately looking at this stuff on tape and they're talking to people and stuff like that, and yet they can't get that to transition.
That's why I'm not mad at DJ for being pissed off. I'm not mad at players for being pissed off. I'm saying this. It's like y'all go out here, y'all say this, we talk to you, and then when we get out here, you do something totally different. Since the Marine Corps birthday, I'll give y'all a Marine Corps birthday. I remember when I first came in, my first deployment, I was around some of the best Marines ever on my first deployment. Everything was spick and span. We knew who could do what, who did, who didn't, all this kind of stuff. We had people who faltered. We had people who couldn't. But my leadership then knew how to alleviate that and how to, you know what I mean? Take the best to cover the worst in a way. We can't do that. That's why I have a problem with everybody screaming, O-line, O-line, O-line. Yeah, we know. We know Corporal O-line sucks, but Sergeant wide receivers them need to do their job. Staff sergeant tight ends them need to do their job. Colonel quarterback needs to do his job.
It begins with the O-line. That's the thing. That's why
it's not a beginning thing.
The O-line. It does. It doesn't. The way Ryan Poles built this team was the outside in. It was from the outside in. Receivers. You get your receivers and you focus on the O-line last.
So the Kansas City Chiefs O-line is the best O-line in the NFL.
I guarantee, but it's better than ours, and our receivers.
It is better than ours. It's better than ours. You can't
love BJ Moore.
I am
they would love
saying
Keenan Allen.
They
would
love
Roma Dunze. They
I
don't have either one.
I know. I know. My whole thing is this. You said my whole thing is this. The Kansas Chiefs. My question is the Kansas Chiefs O-line the best O-line in the NFL?
It's better than ours, and they have.
I got that. Okay, how about let me reframe my question mark for you.
No, you
Who's
don't
O
need to
line
be-
better? Whose O line is better, the Kansas Chiefs or the Detroit Lions?
I'd say the
Detroit
Lions.
Lions, but why is that a question?
Obvi-
The
now,
Detroit
that's-
Lions are
no,
really
no.
good. They're
I
really
know.
good too.
But my whole thing is this:
What kind
the
of question?
Detroit Lions are really, really good still, but the Kansas Chiefs is undefeated.
Well, the
because
Kansas
they're
City.
staff.
What does that mean?
We also know that the Kansas City.
I'm
Chiefs
finna tell you
take a
what
lot
that
of help from
means.
The refs and stuff like that.
The
Like,
Lions
Oh
just
my
lost their
God!
best
Leave the
defensive player.
left. Leave the left.
The
and
Lions
they
just
still
lost their
good.
best
And they still
defensive
good.
player.
I'm still
Right,
good.
but
And they
they'd be
still
even
good.
better if they were healthy. Come on now.
And
Like,
they
I don't know
still
what
good.
that,
And they still
just
good. But
they're
they wouldn't be
7-2,
undefeated. They wouldn't be undefeated though. They
8-2,
was.
whatever they are. Dude,
But they still.
the
But
Lions
they
have
had
been
Aiden
good.
Hutchinson. They lost with Aiden Hutchinson. So don't stop. Don't stop that. I am saying that the
hold on.
Chiefs is 9-0. With not the
7-1,
best.
actually. The Lions have lost one game.
Right, and they had
might as
Aiden
well be
Hutchinson.
undefeated.
They had
Might as
Aiden
well
Hutchinson
be
in that
undefeated.
game. They had
What was
Aiden
your
Hutchinson
point
in the
in
game. They lost.
comparing the Lions to the Chiefs? Is my question.
My whole thing
They're
is
both
this.
really
My
good.
whole thing is
Good
this. My whole
O-line.
thing is they're really good. The Lions have the best O-line, but the Chiefs is undefeated. That tells me that
They
even
didn't play
if
the
you
same
have the
schedule. That's all that says. They didn't play the same schedule.
no,
Whoever the Lions lost to got them that day. Like, that's one game. Why is that
That's-
the basis of your
and
argument?
my whole thing. No, my basis of the argument is this.
Tampa got
we
them week
can't-
2. Tampa caught them
Yeah.
week 2. They won
Yes.
5 games.
They
since.
had Aiden Hutchinson. They had Aiden Hutchinson then. That's what you said.
They won with and without Aiden Hutchinson. But guess what? He
But
doesn't
the
matter.
Chiefs-
Don't act like he doesn't matter.
I didn't say it don't matter. I didn't say it don't matter. What I am saying is this. The Chiefs coaching staff knows that they're not the best at anything. The Chiefs is not best at anything other than maybe Patrick Mahomes. And that's arguable still for a lot of people.
They have one of the best
As-
defenses in the league.
One of the best, not the best.
Who is the best? Denver? I mean, what metrics are
You
you
still-
looking at?
I'm
I don't
looking
know.
at all of the metrics. I'm looking at where they rank in defense. They're like third. They're top 5 for sure. They're all top 5. My whole thing is this. You have to coach what you got. And I'm not saying that I want our offense to be top 5. What I am saying is we have enough on offense to not be bottom 20.
The receivers can't do a thing unless they need time to run 20-yard routes, 15-yard routes. They need time. And it starts with
Right. But you don't have to run 15-yard routes. The Kansas City Chiefs ain't running 15-yard routes.
Dude.
50.
With the O-line.
Listen. 55. Okay, cool. You can say that.
The Chiefs don't have receivers. That's why they traded for DeAndre Hopkins. They're looking for receivers. Guess who got all the receivers? Us. It don't matter though.
But they're undefeated because we got the same type of tight ends that they got.
No, we don't.
Not as far as career.
No,
he's not.
Travis is shifty. Cole is more.
He's not. Cole has been way more productive. Exactly. Travis
blocks more.
Right. Cole, and he has a higher percentage rate of catches, less touchdowns, less yardage, less usage.
Like, look at you see it in the chat. They have a good offensive line. Trust me, that line.
They have a nice offensive line. I'm not saying the offensive line is shit.
Remember Tom Brady beat them in the Super Bowl, Tampa Bay versus Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah.
They destroyed Patrick Mahomes. Ever since that game, they made a point to get players, dudes on that offensive line. Ever since that game.
But they had Patrick Mahomes already. They knew Patrick is the guy. This is our first year with Caleb. We know. That's why I said, if I'm Ryan Poles, we got 13 picks. I would pick 13 linemen.
So what argument are you making? You're basically
argument is that even if Ryan Poles does all this, it's up to Eberflus, Shane Waldron and all of them to coach those guys and put them in their best position.
I agree.
That's
you
my
can only
thing.
coach. You can only coach so much. You can be.
I know.
Hard nosed and have a heart. Y'all can have harder lines, but if it's the NFL, at the end of the day, if you're not good enough, a coach can only do so much. So you say, okay, look, they were shorthanded, but guess what he's gonna do when he has another draft or another year under his belt where he can do this and that.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
That with us, it don't look like that with us.
My whole thing is this: our defense should have easily 2 takeaways every game. Am I wrong to say that?
Why are we not getting them then? Why are we not getting them?
Coaching.
Montez Sweat. Okay, so and we got to listen to Caleb. Montez Sweat. Y'all remember the play? He which set up
was outside
in the half.
That's a hurry up thing. That's a hurry up thing.
Why is he the only one not hurrying up? They showed the replay. He stopped playing football. Everybody else kept playing football. He stopped playing football.
Why DJ? It's not his coaching.
And that's why DJ Moore ain't getting open because
because DJ just left the field. Is coaching. I don't want to do it no more.
Yes, it's coaching.
I don't want.
You got to go out there and play. The effort is low. It's very low right now.
But what does effort come from? Effort comes from coaching. But
you're not going to
Rob is my coach, and I believe not Doug Kramer. See,
you're not going to coach Doug Kramer to be an all-star.
I am not saying that. I am not saying. I know that the offensive line is abysmal. What I am saying is,
it starts there. It starts there. You can't run a damn thing if your offense is getting you.
When the last time we had an amazing offensive line?
We haven't. We don't. When the last time we had a high-powered offense?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. We hadn't. Players gave up, Ron. Players give up on coaches. They don't give up on the team. They don't give up on the fans.
Is a problem, but the offensive line is the offensive line should make the coaches look good.
Keep going back.
What you want with that offensive line?
I know what you're saying, dude. I know because they suck. I get it.
So far, you can
because we said that about our quarterback. Oh man, if we just had a good quarterback.
What's that? I'm confused.
Oh man, what you just said? Our offensive line is shitty. Last year, if we just had a pocket passing quarterback. The year before that, Mitch Trubisky, if we just had a real quarterback.
Yes.
Alshon Jeffries left.
Well, guess what? The offensive line wasn't good either.
They wasn't. That's what I'm saying. It's not even that. It's build upon and do what you can do best.
Okay, look.
I'm not saying win.
To blame at the coach's foot. You can. They deserve a huge amount. People talking about firing Matt Eberflus for a reason, but that offensive line is atrocious. It is.
It is a problem. Just like we said the last couple of years, 2-3 years back. That's the only thing
you can't defend with this.
We said our quarterback. I'm not defending the offensive line.
You are.
What I am defending? No, I'm not. I am saying, even though we know, I said it yesterday, we know the offensive line suck. But
okay, so you
can't really say no other position group sucks. Our tight ends don't suck. Our wide receivers don't suck. Our quarterback
routes do you think we can throw a game? You can't throw 6.
All of them. It's
not all game.
All the time. You throw 2. You keep throwing 2. You took the exactly, and then that comes up to coaching. You have to do what you do best. I don't care.
Oh my gosh. You don't look. You don't just call those all game. You can't. Because yes, you can do it for and then they adjust, which they will.
And they adjust.
Have to make plays.
And then our wide receiver room would open up. Just like in that first quarter against the Cardinals. We were ducking and demon with the bam. And we got one good pass to Roma Dunze that opened up. It made the defense take a chance, and they took a chance and they went low. Rome was open, wide open. That was the only. You have to keep doing that.
We're on the same page. I don't disagree with
Despite the
coach. The
my whole
coaching
thing
is
is
an issue.
despite the offensive line.
Ain't no despite. You can't despite that.
No, I'm saying despite
only
the
player that can despite that is Tom Brady and Peyton
I'm
Manning.
not
None of those
saying
guys are in the league.
players.
There's no
I ain't
despite.
talking about as the Bears. Despite the tragedy offensive line, you gotta dink. You gotta dink, dude. You have to dink them out.
Game. And
not all game, but if you do it, you get open. That's why. What was it against? I think it was the Jaguars. I know we can talk about they suck or whatever, but they held their own against Minnesota too. I think
Jags would probably beat us if we played them today. The Jags would probably beat us today,
but they didn't. So my whole thing is like even against the Jags, this Jacksonville, Keenan Allen 5 for 5, only 41 yards, 5 for 5, 41 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dink them. We not look as fans and as an organization. I get that the players want their stats to be up there so they can get paid. I get that much. But look what you happen when you dink them. You know who else? Who else had 5 for 5 that game? Cole Kmet, 5 for 5, 70 yards. Caleb was 23 for 29.
I understand what you're saying. We all agree coaching is an issue, but you can only do so much with an atrocious offensive line like that in the NFL.
Yeah,
you can only do so much.
But see, I would say that the coaching.
But we did that with an atrocious offensive line. That's what I'm saying, Devin. We did that with an atrocious. We still had the same offensive line, even worse.
So if you're not going to let anybody speak, Wes, then you want to have a whole show for you. I was trying to say something, and I've been sitting here for like 5 minutes.
Okay,
I've been sitting here for 5 minutes watching you two go back and forth. What I was trying to say was the coaching is a problem and the offensive line is a problem, but when you get the offensive line isn't as bad as it's looking, and it probably is because of the fact that they can't figure out how to coach. They need to be able to not necessarily coach this offensive line up to the standards of the Lions.
Right, because that's not going to
happen. But they need to be able to coach it up to being on par with an average NFL offensive line. But see, right now they are not playing as an average offensive line.
They're not playing as one unit. Like you got to play as one.
And see that to me is on coaching too. If your offensive line is running around not really sure what to do, that's on the coaching. Like, yeah, you can say that the players aren't very good, but like they understand the concept of an offensive line. In order to make it in the NFL, you at least have to understand the concept. You have to have at least a skill level of being able to do your job. But the way that it's being presented out there, it doesn't look like they're coaching enough to get them to understand they're all supposed to be working as a team.
But why though? Where's the coaching staff missing at then, Devin?
Maybe they don't. I mean, we've had the same offensive line coordinator for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
And we've been complaining about an offensive line for a while. I honestly don't know why we kept him after we got rid of most of the offensive coaching staff and brought in Waldron.
But I'm just saying, an offensive line coach. Okay, I got that. I know who it is. But he was number 3 the last 2 years
for rushing,
top 3,
right?
In the run game, yes, in the run game.
For rushing.
When you're, and you brought up a good point with Fields. Fields was a big part of that. He was a big part of their run game being one of the best.
Absolutely.
You take out his run yards, and we didn't have the best in the league or anything.
So they kept the O-line coach because they wanted to keep that run game going.
Well, but see that they Then they stopped using the running backs that they were utilizing.
But 2
Then
years
they-
before that, Khalil Herbert had 1,000 yards plus, and he was great before his injury.
He
Same offense.
led the league in yards per carry. I don't think he ever got
Yeah.
1,000, but he got
He had 1,000.
led-
He had not the year before he got hurt. He had 1,000 plus yards. I think it was maybe Justin's rookie year, probably, but he had 1,000 yards rushing.
Okay.
Justin put it over to us as a team having almost 3,000 because Justin had damn near close to 1,000 yards himself. And then you add the other little dink and dimes rushing yards for other people.
I mean, we had Demo. We had
Demo.
Demo.
Yeah.
Justin rookie.
Yeah, you know what I
year.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that year, Khalil Herbert had 1,000 yards rushing plus, and then and I think Justin had like maybe 5, 6 something, maybe almost 800. I don't know the exact stats. I can go in my book. I can find it, but
I
don't
personally.
think
I just
Khalil
feel
Herbert
like
ever had 1,000.
why would you keep an offensive line coordinator just because he had last year he provided a good run defense? Let's be real though, the rushing yards that Justin got, it wasn't because they opened up holes and they were designed runs. The rushing yards that Justin got was because he was scrambling and running away because the offensive line collapsed trying to hold up the pass.
But he gets credit for every rushing yard they get. That they put that on his resume. I googled it and I looked at him.
I get.
He gets the credit. He gets the credit.
Yeah, you get the credit, but
and see,
your
but
eyes.
like,
That's why numbers lie to people.
As like an organization, as a general manager, as an assistant general manager, you should be able to look at things without letting the numbers deceive you. And last year, the problem we got so many rushing yards, or the reason we got so many rushing yards, was because of a pocket collapsing and us having to run for a first down or whatever. And that's not what you would want to see.
I understand that, but those people who make those decisions said the same thing, said, hey, look, we're not winning because of this person who gave us exactly what you're saying for the reason we kept that person. We got rid of the person who made this other person have a job. That's what I'm saying. That's what they're looking at.
We got rid of Justin
we got rid of Justin and we kept the offensive line coordinator, and he was the reason that Chris Morgan still has a fucking job. You see what I'm saying? Because that's numbers.
That just makes it look bad on the people who made the decision to keep him.
That's what it sounds like.
Chris Morgan has a job because we were running the football well for the last 2 years. It's that simple. It wasn't because of the pass protection. It wasn't because of Justin Fields' performance. It was because when we called run plays, this outside zone run scheme worked for us for 2 years.
We were running the ball still good. I'm saying majority of that was a lot of Justin Fields, but a lot of it, like I said, that's why I brought up Khalil Herbert before his injury, saying that he was solid. That, you know what I'm saying? That's why, Mark, when you went against me and him in that Rojo conversation, I'm like, I can't really knock you and say, oh yeah, you're just ignorant, because I seen Khalil's positives, his production. And I seen it, and I seen what happened. But if you look at the statistical things, before this season, the last 2 seasons for sure, out of the Bears' run game was top 3 in the NFL. And that had a lot to do with Justin Fields as far as how they calculated.
Yes.
So
but when you keep Chris Morgan, when you go to keep Chris Morgan, and Chris Morgan comes into the office to negotiate his contract, and he says, hey, look, I coached the run game that was number 1 or number 2, top 3 in the NFL. I'm going to say, hey, hold on for a second. Hang on a second.
You would say
it looks good, but let's take away Justin Fields. Chris Morgan, which you do know we plan on trading Justin Fields.
I'm getting rid of him.
let's look at what you did without this quarterback.
Yep.
I'm not.
That's
You're
what
not gonna
shoulda
come into my
happened.
office and trick me. And
Yeah.
like I get paid too much money for that. I get paid too
No,
much
no,
money to be tricked
no.
in that
Yeah,
way.
Mark.
I have to dissect what's
and
going
you're
on.
right, and you're right. That's what I'm saying. Is that we should look more into the. I don't. I'm not saying that. But you just said that we got tricked. Feel a little tricked. I feel a little tricked from it. But feel like we got kind of tricked because we had so much other. Because we got so much other. Yeah, play because we got so much other, and we looking for that franchise quarterback kind of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when you got it, look. My whole thing. Look at Dallas with Dakota. What's
Dak?
the? I don't know.
God,
I don't know. Dakota Prescott. It's like Jerry Jones. Like that's my quarterback for 20 years. I don't care what y'all say or what y'all gonna do because Dak is serviceable. He's good. He could. He might. You know what I mean? We never had that even potential.
Who, a Dak Prescott?
Yeah. Justin wasn't a Dak potential. That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't do
Mitch
well
Trubisky didn't put up
being the reason that his team
Jay Cutler is just he's a Dak. If we're gonna talk about a Dak,
Justin Cutler was
Cutler
was the closest we got, but he was the bottom of the closest we ever had. Even after the 85 Bears, even the plucky quarterback.
Let's
the bottom
listen to our quarterback speak, and then we gonna
let's listen to
come
Cat
to you
Williams.
West for those grades. We need those grades, and
you just tell me who need a grade. They all gonna fail anyway, but whatever. Public schools. It's a public schools in the worst part of the Watts and Compton.
Oh God.
All right, here we go. Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hearing anything right now.
Okay, yeah, I see what's going on. Can you hear me at least?
Yeah.
All right, let me know if you can hear it this time. Why am I not? All right, hang on a second. Let me see. Bear with me, people. Technical difficulties. Okay, yeah, that should be that should work. We should be able to hear it now.
I'd say
Can we hear it?
I'd say it first starts with me. I took I had about two or three plays and key moments of situational ball that it didn't click in my head. Two were taking 2 sacks, 2 or 3 sacks. Situation we were able to get a field goal. I put us out of field goal, not throwing the ball out of bounds, or one of my
And we talked.
Instead, I threw it to DJ. Saw the safety coming out the sky. Thought I'd get to DJ, and I know we had 2 blockers over there, and DJ could, spring it and go run for a good distance. And wasn't the right decision. A lot to learn from myself. Just speaking on some of the situational things. Obviously, there's a few passes. Obviously, every game that you wish you could have back.
What happened?
Looks like we lost Mark. Sometimes that
All
happens
right.
during the press conferences. It kicks Mark out.
Yeah. Man, that's
But-
fine. But anyway, like I said, I would love to comment on what he just said. Exactly what I've been saying. You made the wrong play. You did the wrong thing. And situational. And that's what I've been saying since I said it yesterday. I've been saying it since the season started. It's a situational thing. Like, you have to make it. You have to give that chance out. Caleb, stop coming up to these press conferences and say, hey, look, I made the bad decision. You should be saying, hey, look, I gave him the ball. He didn't do it. I did this. He didn't do it. I did this and they didn't. And we need to get better at this. We need to get better at hunting the ball. We need to get better at this. We need to get better at this. But to get up there and say, like, hey, look, I made bad decisions doing situational football. Like I said yesterday, we can have 57 plays in a game. Okay, but the only plays that matter is about 7 to 11 of them that makes the game win or lose. The rest of them are decided by inches. So for Caleb to go up there, and what we did hear and what y'all heard was, hey, I made bad situational plays. I don't want Caleb to have to get up on a podium and say, I made bad situational plays. I want him to say, hey, look, we ran that play and the defense did it. I'm talking about Caleb saying, hey, look, I missed on situational plays.
Make sure that you quote him correctly. He said he made a bad decision.
Sack.
He made a bad decision, whether it was sacks or passes. He said it on 2 different plays. He said it on a sack.
Talking about the one that took us out of field goal range first and got sacked that took him out of field goal range.
Which we talked
That's
about.
his sack. And then he talked about the one where he shouldn't have threw the pass to DJ Moore, where he should have went probably somewhere else or did something different. But what he did say was, I made bad decisions in a situational plays, and we know what that means. That's third down plays. That's crucial plays. Like I said yesterday, the game is decided in about 8 to 11 actual plays. The other 49, 50 plays that you run are inches plays. That's why I had a emphasis on making those plays positive, whether it was 1 yard, 2 yard, 3 yard, 4 yard, whatever. Just get forward. That would make those situational plays less detrimental to the team.
I don't know about some of
Y'all
those
hear
things.
me?
Like, yeah. I was just thinking about the fact though that like Justin was criticized last year when he tried to blame other people. This year, Flus was criticized for not taking accountability when he made bad decisions. And so I personally, I like to see a guy who is able to take accountability for making a bad decision. if he were to go out there and say like, hey, this is all on DJ Moore because DJ Moore didn't get out of that tackle or whatever and get the first down, or Keenan Allen didn't block or something like that. Like if he goes out there and calls people out like that, even if they are like actually at fault for it, they lose respect for him because he's the one that threw them the ball. Like, so at the end of the day, like people
How
aren't going to want to like do shit for you, and
how
you're
can they
not
lose?
going to build chemistry if you constantly like throw people under the bus.
I'm not saying throw people under the bus. What I'm saying is do your job. That way you don't have no reason to take accountability for it. Like we're saying as a whole, as a Bears franchise, we have to take accountability for that. Our O-line sucks. That our GM didn't do nothing about it. All this other kind of stuff. Like I said, I've been on the silver lining end of it, Mark, but at the same time, I still have to take as a Bears fan the accountability that my GM didn't do nothing about the offensive line. What he brought in was basically nothing. At the end of the day, what I am saying is for Caleb is to alleviate taking that. You have to take those shots. You have to take those puts. You have to put even if it's a errant throw. You got 62 already, the worst in the NFL. So what if you got 75 after this game? But you
Let's
have
listen to him speak, and then I want you to keep going in the direction you're going, because I mean,
okay.
I like I said, there's a lot of people who feel like Caleb is one way or another not playing like a first overall or number one overall pick.
Just say
So
a lot of people say that he's trash, and I don't think he's trash. I don't think he's garbage. I don't think he's a bust. I don't think he's none of those
yeah,
things. And my
I
whole
don't.
thing is to alleviate those things is to do your job. And hey, look, separation is not Caleb's fault. Bad play calling is not Caleb's fault. Do what you're gonna do. Hey, look, you told me to go to one, I went to one. He should have opened up, or you should have called a better fucking play. That's how I feel.
Let me try this again, and if we can't get them to come through like we'd like, then we'll move on and get your grades, and then we'll go from there.
And then the other one, which was could have handed the ball off to Dre. Instead, I threw it to DJ. Saw the safety coming out the sky, DJ, and I know we had two blockers over there, and DJ could spring it and go run for a good distance, and it wasn't the right decision. Definitely.
Not working.
This game is a lot to learn from for myself. Just speaking on some of the situational things. Obviously, there's
I don't think they're gonna let us hear them.
a few passes. Obviously, every game that you wish you could have back, and things like that. But I think situationally, this game was a great learning experience for me with some of these situations that I could have done better for sure. And then other than that, I'd say we just got to get better with execution. I think regardless of
what would you like to make disappear?
We can hear, right? Everybody can hear.
Yeah, visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Okay.
I'm not so sure I like that whole comment about doing better with execution because it sounds like Matt Eberflus.
Whether the play is good, bad, indifferent, whether we have people down or anything like that. We got to go out and execute. We got to do better with that. Whether it's penalties, whether it's negative plays. And speaking on that, a negative play like I threw to DJ is what I'm talking about. So I think it starts there, and then from there, it's hard to stop offenses when you do those things.
When you talk about things not clicking in, is that Could some of that be like the internal clock on those first 2 sacks, just holding on to the ball too long, maybe not processing it fast enough? Is that?
No, I was went to Cole for one of them. Went to Cole, and that's the first read. It's only a 5-yard route, and so 5 yards doesn't take much time. And so the second read, once I saw the, I believe it was safety or nickel fly down on Cole, we had Keenan returning, and it's only a 5-yard route again. And so those don't take much time. It just so happened that, somebody won on the defensive side. And
wow. Did he just throw his offensive line under the bus?
Just knowing before the snap and having a better understanding of where we are on the field is what needs to process throughout, before the snap. And other than that, no, I only went through 2 reads in that situation, and should have thrown the ball out of bounds because we were at the kick line.
That's all you throwing it out of bounds all game.
I know you said this all starts with you, but you've been extremely successful at every level of your career. Are your struggles merely a product of stepping up to the NFL level, or are there other things involved in this equation that's leading to some of the struggles we see from not only you, but offense?
Good question.
Yeah. Speaking of myself, there's things that I don't miss, things that I haven't missed, things that just timing and rhythm and things like that. I'd say
life of playing for Chicago
throughout the week, before the weeks and things like that, before we got to this point in the season, doing better at being more detailed, being better at asking a little bit more for the details, being better at, there's always things that you can be better at. And so with it being my rookie season and understanding that, definitely brings a lot of encouragement to me. Obviously, the situation is very frustrating because you want to go out there and execute. You want to go out there and help a defense that gets you the ball or special teams that gets you the ball on the 50 or 40-yard line 3 times, 4 times in this game. And it's, it's tough. But, to be able to get up each time and do it again and again and again and again, it provides me learning experiences. I think us as an offense, we do have to find it right now here in this instance.
Hit that like button.
Just because we're
That's
going,
subscribe
we're getting close to, and it starts this week, playing versus teams like Green Bay and Detroit and Vikings and all of that. But obviously you have to take it one step at a time. And, but right now is right now. We took this loss. We have to learn from it. We have this little bit of time tonight and tomorrow. And then from there, we're on to Green Bay. And we got to find ways to do it. Simple as that.
You have to.
Are the plays that are being called putting you in the best position to succeed? During the course of the week, how much of your input goes into, okay, this is what we want to run in certain situations?
Yeah, I would say it doesn't like obviously throughout the games, there's going to be times where defense calls, maybe a better blitz, maybe a better coverage and things like that, obviously. And you would want different plays in that situation. But it comes down to execution, details, and things like that. When you're speaking on better plays for those situations, because the whole point of the defense, the whole point of the other team going against you, the whole point of them having other coaches and other good coaches is to be able to go out there and execute against you. And so we have to do a better job starting with us, starting myself.
I don't know if you're going to say go
and situational ball, negative plays, and things like that. And when you're good at not having negative plays, when you're good at
about that.
Executing, when you're good at executing situational ball, you're a tough team to beat, regardless of what they're calling over there, and regardless of what our coaches are calling on the field. We communicate when we do our job, when I do my job, when when we're hitting on cylinders. It's pretty tough to beat.
Yeah, Matt said that it is on the table. He's evaluating whether to make a change in offensive play caller. Do you think that's something you could adapt to mid-season?
They're not going to reinvent the wheel in a sense, we're mid-season. And it's not a decision for me. I have to do what coach says. I have to do with whatever decision he makes. And I have to be fine with it. Will I be able to adapt? Yes, I will. We will be able to adapt whatever coach decision he makes. And then, from there, we have to go out there and execute and win games.
They're not holding back these questions.
In Matt right now, and why or why not?
Am I confident in my head coach? Yes, I'm confident in my head coach.
There you go.
They brought me here for a reason. They brought all of us here for a reason. As players, when we're in the locker room, we know how good we are. We know how good we can be. And right now we're not executing. We're not hitting on cylinders. And we have all the confidence in each other, to be honest with you. When I've been in some locker rooms, and I'm a young guy, I know, but I've also been in some locker rooms that you're losing, and it's pretty rough in the locker room. And obviously after a loss, it's pretty rough. But have this stretch that we've had so far, and the confidence that these guys have in me, the confidence that these guys have in each other. Talking about the players, I think that that's a part of Coach Eberflus. Instilling that confidence and voicing that confidence of us coming together and being together. And then, like I've said before, obviously, there's okay teams, there's good teams, and there's great teams, and it starts with the players. And right now we have an event, and it's kind of what I go by in my life. We have an event, and the most important thing, because you can't always control the event. The most important thing is for us to respond, and our response equals the outcome, whether it's good or bad or indifferent. So, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Chicago Bears.
Ooh. Hey, Bear Truth, you heard him. We was wondering if he was gonna say "Go Bears" or "Chicago Bears."
Go Bears, yeah.
I'm glad he did. I'm glad he said it. Yeah, and Bear Truth, he did not look defeated. He did not look beat up. He looked like he is coming to terms with what's going on, and you got to stay the course regardless of what was happening.
And these guys were not holding back their questions. How would you feel about a offensive coordinator or play call? They said play calling change, but they kind of you knew they meant offensive coordinator change midseason. And they asked him that. Then they asked him if he has confidence in his head coach. And they're like, what the hell am I supposed to say, guys?
This is Chicago, the third biggest market in America, in the United States of America.
The second biggest city.
They not gonna hold back. These reporters ain't gonna hold back, and rightfully so, because we deserve better as Bears fans. We deserve better. We can come on here on this podcast every week and debate different reasons on why this and that and the third or whatever. But each and every one of us deserves better. We invest too much time and money. My boy Wes at the bottom of the map just bought two jerseys. Like, we invest too much into this goddamn three jerseys.
God dang.
We deserve.
I got on my Justin
better.
right now. I changed that on my DJ, and I put my Justin Fields jersey on because that's how I want to go back to the old excitement of it. At least it was exciting then. And
see,
that's
that was my thing last year, that the games were at least exciting, even if we lost. There was always some type of spark, but this game, I didn't see a spark.
And yes, it's look.
Other than England,
the offensive line is atrocious, right? Yeah. But I am not naive. I get it. It's going to eventually start to fall at your quarterback's feet, as well as the head coach. Those are the two guys. Matt Eberflus, Caleb Williams. When you think of the Chicago Bears, those are the two biggest names, the biggest faces of this team. Mm-hmm. Two most important pieces. So eventually,
one not working. Pick the one, Mark.
I think they're both not working though. It's both. I mean, not working. I won't say not working. Caleb obviously has a lot of time, but they're both to blame. I can't yes, Wes, you could say he got to get the ball out, and I can say no. Well,
he said it. He said it, Mark. He said it.
No, he didn't. He didn't say it. He didn't.
Yes, he did. He said I made mistakes in situational positions.
Okay, but I'm saying that specifically because they asked him, one of the first questions of that interview was, "How do you feel? Do you feel like you're holding the ball too long?" He said, "No, I looked at Cole. Then he said, I went to my second read. It was a 3-read play, but I only got to my second read. And
He
I
picked a
probably
play. He picked that play.
the
entire game
play
though.
that the reporter asked about. He answered that question.
Okay,
So
that's great. That's
we're
cool.
not.
We
We don't
I'm
disagree.
happy.
He's holding the ball too long, but he can. He's a rookie.
I'm happy.
So don't
I'm
sit
happy.
here.
Oh no, I'm not saying he's not a
Tell me
rookie.
my rookie quarterback is holding the ball too long. He's going.
I just said it yesterday. I said I gave him 10% of the pie. I only gave him 10% of the pie.
No. My thing is because like we're on the same page.
I like the fact that he said it.
When you poke at the fact that
No. I am saying I am reinforcing. I'm reinforcing my.
He has to do it.
I'm reinforcing my. He has to do more, even though he's a rookie, and he shouldn't. That's how I feel. He should have a better O-line. He should have better coaching.
But because
he should have better stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Situation,
because of the situation is, I believe that in Caleb enough to say, hey, you have to alleviate sometimes. And like I said, he definitely has.
We see that cape. We see the Superman plays.
No. He has. I said it yesterday. Like he has to be like, hey, look. Sometimes when I go in here, like I said it yesterday. Sometimes I go to hold up, I'm like, hey, look, they call Eagle 32, and I'm not gonna go into all the details of a play. We ain't doing Eagle 32. We're gonna do Fox 53. Why? Because I think that's where we at, and I'm watching, and that's where I feel comfortable at. And even when he said, hey, look, I looked at Cole first, my heart warmed to hear him just say it. Even though in the game it didn't produce, just for him to say the first thing I looked at was Cole. That makes me feel good. And you know how I've been preaching since the offseason about that. And then something says happened, blah, blah, blah. We can go online and how terrible we are on this, that. Okay, cool. That made me give Caleb more. Because watching the game, watching the Bears on one TV and watching the Commanders on the other one, I'm like,
I'm thinking saying this though. We've been saying that. We've been saying the Commanders operation, the entire operation looks better. We used 2 timeouts today, fellas, because we couldn't get the play call in. Play call in. We couldn't get the play read to the huddle.
But we used 0 timeouts when we really needed in situational football.
Mm-hmm.
You talking
against the Commanders at the very end of that
Commanders specifically. We used many timeouts. Well, we should have just called timeout. We winning. We're playing to win. We said it last year. I seen it last year. It's why the Chiefs is undefeated. It's because y'all playing to not lose instead of playing to win.
Wes, so look, because we agree on a lot of things. It seemed like we
agree, but the way we see it is different.
No, because you're saying it's the coaching, and I 100% agree with that.
Yeah,
it's not like I disagree with 5%. I agree 100% with the coaching thing.
Yeah,
the O-line is atrocious as well. And
I never disagree with you.
I mean, Caleb could. I mean,
it seems like we all on the same page.
Exactly.
I just expect Caleb to try his best to alleviate that, being how intelligent I think he is. But just like he said in his press conference, I'm doing what the coaches say to do. That's being like you're smarter than the teacher. You know what I mean? Like, I expect you could say, like, hey, look, okay, I hear this what he's calling.
So look, let's get these grades out the way, and then let's play the blame game. And then we'll blame for sure.
Virginia. I blame Virginia. Fuck it.
First up,
Yeah.
let's grade this off. Well, actually, before we start the offense, we do all need to give our Caleb grades. Without saying too many words, I'm going to go with a C minus today. C minus. Just I came up off the D. I think I had like 2 straight D's for him. D pluses, I think. And I came up off the D just because how atrocious I think that O line is. You can't even think straight as a rookie. You can't even get yourself together with that O line. So I'm gonna for Caleb. We're all gonna do Caleb, but when we talk about the offense, the defense, the coaching, and the special teams, that'll be just Wes grades, and me and Devin will critique those. So yeah, C minus for me.
What you got, Devin?
For me, Caleb gets D plus. Like it could have been either D plus or C minus. Like the few times that his line did hold up, he held the ball too long and got himself sacked or something. And the way that I'm looking at it, like you understand that your O line is not very good, but when they do give you those opportunities, you got to do something with them. And throwing the ball away is at least something other than like getting sacked. And so in those situations where they do hold up, you gotta like because those O linemen, like they know that they're not doing their job right. But when they do, you need to reward them by showing like getting that few yards, getting a pass off or whatever.
I threw that 15-yard pass.
That's how they see that they've done something right.
Right.
They see it when you get yardage on a play. When you get sacked, they feel like they didn't do their job right. But when you get sacked because you held the ball too long, it still goes as a sack against the offensive line. Like
for sure,
it still makes the offensive line. Like when you see 9 sacks, you don't immediately think, "Oh, that quarterback sucks because he got sacked 9 times." No, you immediately think that offensive line sucks. So those sacks are still something that they are letting happen. And so I'm gonna have to give a D plus on that one because to me, I just feel like when kind of like we were talking about with the receivers, like when you do get those opportunities, he does throw to you. You need to take advantage of those opportunities and stuff like that. Same thing with Caleb. He got to take advantage of when the offensive line does hold up and he's able to get it. Like take advantage of those situations, those plays where they do hold up and make the offense pay or make the defense pay for not being able to get to you. And that might take pressure off some of your other, like they might have to pull back some of the blitzing because you made them
absolutely.
You held them up on it. So
absolutely.
So it's just the game turns out a little differently when you can make some of those plays, and then they have to counteract. But kind of like we were talking about defensive adjusting. If you can hold them for a couple of plays, and then you get a huge advantage out of it, the defense has to adjust. Maybe they don't send as much pressure. So then you can get a little bit more breathing room next time because you were able to get a good playoff and maybe you get 20 yards out of it or something.
Something positive. Wes.
Caleb. You see, I'm old school. I'm old school. I'm still old school. Blackbird Podcast cue cards. Back in the day.
What you got on there? A D. Okay.
I give him a D. I'm not even gonna say my D is simply because holding a ball or anything like that. It's for me, I was gonna give him a C minus, but when I heard his press conference, I was like,
"Oh, he lost points because of the press conference."
You understand that you faltered in those, what I've been saying for the last 2 days. those few plays, those situational ones. And he had me, I think it was the first quarter, I think on 4th and something or whatever, when I said, hey, look, I don't want him to run, but what I do want him is to take the positive. You know what I mean? And I saw him on that 4th down play. I think it was like 4th.
I think it was 4th and 5.
4th and 5. And he looked
and he saw that pocket open up.
And he saw that green and he went and got the first down. Let's try again. We get 4 more chances after that. That's my job as a quarterback. What people and most people don't understand as a quarterback, my job is not just to score touchdowns. It's the next 4 downs because we get 4 chances. I just need to keep giving my team 4 chances. Other than that, what is the point of having a first down? Right? So that's all I want to do. If I'm 2nd and 3 or 4, I look for the big play. Nope. All right, cool. I'll take the 3 yards. I'll take the 4 yards, the whatever, the little stuff. I think the rookie of the year, the Pro Bowl, the All Pro, those things get into a lot of the professionals' mindset of I want to be that. Yes, you know how you get to be that? By doing the little things. Look at Jared Goff. Jared Goff, he doesn't have a ton of 50-yard plays. He's not like we saw Chase
best offensive line in the league.
But no. He got the best offensive line in the league. That's not what I'm talking about.
Keep bringing
I'm
up
talking
him
about
in Kansas City.
I'm talking about his choices he makes. Kansas City don't have the best offensive line. They got like the 7th.
They got a really good one. It's really good.
They have a really good one. They're a really good one. But you know what I see them do with that really good one at 7th in the league? 4 yards, 5 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards. Ooh, 17 yards. 6 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, 7 yards. Ooh, 27 yards. Ooh, you know what I mean? Like, I seen Amara St. Brown get 3 catches for 125 yards with the best line that you say in the world. 2 of his catches was 7 yards. But he had a 67-yard catch for a touchdown.
Yeah, that wide receiver group in the Detroit.
You see what I'm saying?
Best. We have a better group than them.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, it's the 6, it's the 7. You even said it yesterday. How the hell is Roma Dunze our leading receiver in yards? How many 50+ yards catches he got? How many big time plays he got? How many big time touchdowns? 50 yards, none. The reason he is because we caught him on a big 15, 17, 20-yard catch after dinking and dinking and dinking. After dinking and dinking and dinking. You see what I'm saying? You can get that as a wide receiver, 157 yards, a touchdown off of 5 catches. That's a good game for a wide receiver. If you do that over 3 wide receivers, which we can do, that's only 15 passes. If we hit DJ 2-3 times, 5-6 yards, and get him a 27 yards and then a touchdown, like I just said against Jacksonville, Keenan Allen, 5 for 5, 41 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a great game for Keenan Allen. It's not a 100-yard game. It's not a 10-yard reception game. I mean, 2 touchdowns is kind of impressive, but it's that little things that happen and that matter. And it's in those situations because you can't win every play because you got to understand that the defense is still doing their job. Period.
So, okay. So, and I want you to get your next grade ready because we'll do the offensive grade next, and then we'll move on from the Caleb Williams grade. I just want to say we've seen what Caleb can do when he has time. We've seen what he can do when his pocket is clean and things don't look chaotic.
Pocket was pretty clean.
Give him one rusher. We've seen what he could do when one guy breaks free. Maybe Braxton Jones or Darnell Wright or one of the guards break. We've seen what he could do with one, but it's pretty hard when you're gonna get beat from the left tackle spot, then you're gonna get beat from the right guard spot, and then when you're shaking them up, they're gonna come right up the middle at some point. So it's tough. Caleb has a tough job. He does, and he's the quarterback, so
but
he's going to have to adapt.
Mark,
he's going to have to adapt. Caleb is a rookie. I know,
but he's a social media king. He sees what social media says.
His
he
name
hears
means nothing. His name means zero. He's a rookie quarterback.
His reputation does. He sees it. He get tagged. He get added. He knows his offensive line sucks. That's my whole problem, isn't it?
So what do you mean? Like, okay, so you're speaking like people with sucky O lines just excel. That's not the way the NFL works.
Excel. I didn't excel. I expect Caleb to look like you've been saying all the time.
Look like what?
The eye test.
Exactly. It has not changed or wavered. Has not changed.
He just said it. I failed in situational positions, and I should have. And I should.
He messed up on that. Josh Allen, he struggled on a couple plays today too. Patrick Mahomes struggled.
They do.
The only difference is they're not rookies. They're not rookies.
They do.
And Jaden Daniels just lost today, and I'm sure there's a lot of plays he would like to have back.
And my whole thing is that's the reason he don't get an F. Because I feel like he know better.
No, the D is fine.
I want him to. And the thing is, I want him to be not a rookie. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I want him to be not a rookie because
his
mental is not a rookie. You have no rookie mentality.
It is. He does. He absolutely does.
I think he's
he
better
goes big
than
game
that.
hunting, and that's what rookies do when they were successful in college.
That's cool. But to come back and say I should do this, and we listen to him, and
he's taking accountability. Every player, if they came up there, they say I should have done this. Every single player.
Justin never did it. Even his rookie year, he didn't do that. He
didn't say I should have done this. I should have. Are you crazy? You're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
No, that because now you're insinuating that a player is perfect. Meaning they are. Yes, you are.
No, I'm not insinuating.
Justin, hold on, Devin. Justin went.
I'm saying the way that Caleb is saying it, the things
Justin
that Caleb
went to the podium and took accountability multiple times.
Yeah, he took accountability for sure. Yes.
Devin, go ahead. You want to get a word?
That's what I was gonna say. Like if somebody doesn't go up and take accountability, and when they make mistakes, then it indicates they think that they're perfect. And people who feel like they're perfect don't work on themselves to get any better usually. And that's not the mentality that you should have in life or the NFL, but particularly not the NFL, because even Patrick Mahomes can't go out there and just be like, well, I'm perfect, so I can't, there's nothing for me to work on, so the rest of my team better do better. Like, no, if he loses a game this year, he will go out there and he will point out where he made his mistakes, because that's all he can really do.
Even in the games they win.
Just for the record, that's not what I was saying. I'm saying the language and the accountability. I'm not criticizing him for taking accountability. What I am saying is, I want to see one or two plays where it looked like we seen, like I said, and I bring up just it was one or two plays where he was just like, everything is falling, the sky is falling on this one play. I'm going to run because that's what I do. I'm going to take my talent, and that's why I scream.
You seen it today? He did it. Didn't you bring up the fourth down play?
He
did it on that one play that you wanted so bad.
He getting there. He getting there. For me, call me selfish and call me greedy. I just I wanted him. I wanted that. I wanted a
guarantee
little
you
more.
he had over 30 rushes. He rushes the ball. I don't know if you want 100. You're not getting that, but he runs the ball.
He barely
I'm
had 50.
50 is a lot. Why would he have 50 rushing yards? Are you crazy? Why would
My whole thing is with this offensive line, you should. I'm saying traditional with a good offensive line. You're right, Mark. With a good offensive line, yes. He shouldn't. He should be at about that half. Whatever.
Wes,
I think Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix was at 40. Josh Allen today was at plus 50.
Who are you?
Like it's. And my whole thing is this. It sits. Hey, my whole thing is what you're missing. What I'm saying
had less than them.
What I'm saying is the reason they have it is because they took the situation into their own hand.
You're saying he's holding on to the ball too long, and he's not running the ball with his
right.
hand.
If you're gonna hold on to the ball, you should have 50 rushing yards. If you're not gonna do that, you need to have the ball out. Throw it wide.
Like
throw it out and
give quarterback probably would, right?
Right. And like I said, like even with that DJ, like DJ should have dug down into the ground on that first down. It was a short pass, but I would have loved to see DJ as a wide receiver. This is not on Caleb at all. Everybody say, oh, well, he threw it low. No, I threw it away from the defender. DJ should have got dirty into the ground for that ball, for that first down. His hands wasn't in front of his face. They were nowhere near the ball. That's on DJ. That's what I'm saying. And I feel like Caleb is mentally old soulless, kind of, it's like he got an old soul. He's mentally above that. And the rookie title, I don't know. Maybe he's taking advantage of it. I don't know. Maybe. But maybe because the O-line just shit. Maybe that's it. That's why I just hope. That's why I said, like, let's just go draft 12 O-linemen, sign 3-4 more, and see what these next 19, 20 people do in the offseason and put together a great offensive line or a decent offensive line so we don't have to have this offensive line conversation.
Well, I was saying this all offseason. I didn't want to have an offensive line conversation like we did with Mitchell Trubisky, Justin Fields, and even Jay Cutler. Like I didn't want to have that conversation again. I didn't care to draft Rome Odunze. I don't care how good he was.
Jay Cutler offensive line was
bad. Just Jay Cutler
got
hit.
Jay Cutler got hit.
Okay, so you got your offensive grade ready because we not about to talk about Jay Cutler. Did offensive grade, Chef West grades, offense.
Hold on, I got a little bad truth. He got a paragraph. I gotta read it.
Hold on. I'll put it back.
I got you, Bear. Bad truth. Hold on. Okay, put it right there, West. Cover speak 4.
He said, Wes, there's only so much you can cover and speak on before you lose the main topic. To me, the topic is how do we continue to progress our QB under the circumstances, or do we have to make changes?
We have to make changes, and specifically, we definitely have to make changes at the offensive line. Of course, we all know we have to fix it. We have to make it better. We have to do that. That's the change. For me, and why I'm arguing is I have so much faith in Caleb because I'm on the Caleb train, is that I think he should be able to offset 1 out of 4 things that go wrong with the offensive line.
There's
a situation that it might be 5 things. It may be 5. It may be 5. You see what I'm saying? But one of those things, one of those kind of things. I see you coming making check downs. I see you trying to do it. And I get it. But then to go and say, hey, look, in a press conference we just heard, hey, I go do what the coaches do, when we all just said yesterday that mostly or mainly, if it's not the first thing that we think is the problem or the second thing is the problem, we all said one thing is the first, either the coaching staff, second thing, or the coaching staff. All 3 of us said that. You said it, Bear Truth. A lot of us said it, that top two things is the coaching. For our quarterback to go and say, hey, I listen to the coaches, that's my thing. That's my thing. It's the same offensive line. It's
He's
not
a
like
rookie. Why wouldn't he listen to his coaches as a rookie?
I get what he's saying. I get it. I get what he's supposed to do. I understand that. What I am saying is everybody knew week 1 that the offensive line was shot. So
no, everybody didn't know. Wes, hold on. Let's not do that. Everybody didn't know. You thought that the offense. Come on now, Wes. You thought this offensive line was serviceable. You thought they were good enough to walk into this season. You did. Don't everybody. And you're not the only one. You are not the only one.
I didn't think they was
Wes.
top 15.
You didn't like you came at me for calling this offensive line band-aids. You didn't like that. They are
no,
Band-Aids.
I didn't come at you saying better. I came at you for saying that they're like 37th out of 32. I'm like,
40th. I was wrong.
No,
they're 40th.
See, and then they keep going. But I saw a lot of clean pockets today. I saw a lot of good blocking today.
So when Justin got sacked 9 times, was that Justin?
Not talking about Justin.
No, I'm just saying because it's a trend. You're not about to keep blaming these quarterbacks for getting sacked 9 times. It's not. You can't have multiple. I don't know another team.
The reason you blame Justin is because Justin's nature is, hey, look, if it ain't working, I'm running.
The Bears have
my thing with Caleb
is they have not.
They have not. I didn't say they did. I didn't say it is. But what I'm saying is, I watched Joe Burrow with a dirty ass pocket, with a very small pocket, still throw it.
I watched Caleb do it too. I watched him do it too, plenty of times.
Sometimes,
he ain't gonna do it every time. He's a rookie. Joe, but you just compared this rookie to Joe Burrow,
right? And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. And that's all I'm saying. Is I am putting this generational talent. No.
There's no generational nothing.
That's what y'all said.
That's what NFL Network said.
You said it.
You said it too.
That's what you said. Your words were generational. You said it.
Okay.
You said it too.
I'm not gonna go back and forth on what I said. I don't even speak that way. I don't even talk about players in that generational. I don't even know what that means. What does generational mean?
You said it when I said I threw Jaden Justin Fields. I said Jaden Daniels. You said we're gonna get up on a generational talent.
I said his floor was higher than
not Justin Fields. We were talking about Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. That's what we were talking about before the draft. You said he's a
you
generational
upset that
talent.
people? Okay, say I did say it. I'm not. That doesn't matter. Are you upset?
Okay, play the game.
Dubbed him a generational talent.
Not at all.
The issue is. What about your analysis? Stop.
My analysis is.
What did you?
My analysis. My analysis is this. I can see that. I can see what everybody said that generational talent, but generational talent is like 19-year-old LeBron. It's like,
okay,
dude, come in and take.
Why are we talking about generational talent? We never talked about generational talent on this podcast.
Yes, we have. That's the reason we take Jaden.
Oh, so is that what this is about? Jaden Daniels sneaks his way back into the conversation. It's okay. Give us your offensive.
That's all I'm saying.
Just give us your offensive grade because I don't know how Jaden Daniels made his way back into this conversation.
You want me to take Bo Nix? How about let me take Drake May? We just lost to him. Offensive grade. Here you go, Bo.
D. F for me. A major F for me. Caleb's performance. If Caleb got a D, that offensive line drags them to an F. And we didn't even talk about the wide receivers. They weren't getting open. We saw it. The live broadcaster saw it.
There you
go. But the live guy, the dude calling the game called them out multiple times.
Yes,
I'm not the only one at all.
Drag the wide receivers, dude.
So the D is fine. I would go F.
Drag the wide receivers.
Thought on his D.
It definitely ain't a passing grade. whether it's D or F, it don't really
Or
make
F.
much of a difference. Like it was
Right.
I was not even wanting to come and talk today because of it, because it just watching this was pretty soul crushing. So
I mean, I
Defense
saw
was
some
great.
plays. I saw some good plays. I saw some
There's
good
always gonna be good
plays.
plays.
I saw
yeah,
some good
there were some
plays,
good
and
ones
I'm
where it
like,
started to make me
I think
ooh.
well, yeah, I saw some good run plays. I'm like, I think we. And my whole thing for it, the reason that I get F is like, you
It was
saw that
atrocious.
run for 7. You saw that run for 7 yards. That was 1 of 30. That was, you know what I mean? Like,
It was atrocious. I can't
that
give them.
was
They were
that.
3 points against the
uh,
Patriots is bad, 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 bad. Like we scored more against Cardinals. The 2-7 Patriots, like I said, they had the number 1 pick locked in, and we scored 3.
Now
That was
listen.
atrocious. It was a
The only
major
reason that I don't want to give them a F is my fandom. That's it. I should have put up.
We
Hold
ain't
on,
talking
wait.
about fandom at this point. We
But
all know
hold
we're
on.
fans.
I should have get. I should have put that little thing right there. Like D- at best. Only because y'all managed to get a field goal. You managed to get a field goal. You managed to get a field goal. You didn't score off a turnover. You didn't score off a 3 and out on a short field. You didn't, but you did manage to drive down and get a field goal, which gave me false hope. But I can
So
agree
did
with
y'all see this too? And I want you to pull up your defensive grade. Did y'all hear that too? I heard it. I thought I heard it. I was watching and I said to my lady, did they just chant fire Flus? I promise you I did, but I didn't know
yes,
for sure.
yes, they did.
If it was happening at the end of the game, I kind of just
It was in
zoned
the
out.
third quarter. It was in the third
Yeah,
quarter.
it wasn't.
After they
Yeah,
came
when I
out,
heard it,
after that first series in the third quarter, everybody chanted fire Flus. I said it in the offseason, but I was definitely against bringing Flus back.
See, I've changed my mind on him. Like when I went into the offseason, I was okay with them keeping him. I didn't feel like he was going to be like this amazing head coach, but I put a lot more of the blame for the offensive issues last year on Luke Getsy. And people kept trying to tell me, oh, no, that's not true because Getsy already got a new job for the Raiders. So clearly
Fired.
he wasn't the problem. Well,
Mhm.
let's be real. Getsy was
Fired.
already fired from the Raiders.
Fired
So it just goes
midseason.
to show that sometimes just because you suck at one job, people still, if you get fired, just because of that, people still think that you can do the job.
And
So,
this is why Flus got the fired chance, because Montez Sweat was out there. That key that everybody was saying, like, oh well, without Montez Sweat,
yeah,
Flus
that's
defense
true.
falls down, whatever. They
Kyler
still
Gordon came
was.
back today.
Kyler Gordon came back.
Montez Sweat came back today. Like
Montez Sweat came
really,
back.
the only prominent person they're missing on the defense is
It's
Jaquan Brisker.
Brisker. That's it. You missing one
JB.
person.
Oh
You
wait,
missing.
no, they also missing Andrew Billings. Forgot
Oh,
about
Mr.
him too.
Billings, and he,
So
yeah,
But
I mean,
good
I
piece.
get that he's an
I
important
have to
piece.
say, he is an important piece. But I
But
know we
like
talked about him dog last time, but
I forgot
Javon
that he was out
held
today.
up.
So
He held up. Javon held up.
I don't know.
You got
For me, the chance, like I have flipped my opinion on. Like I do wish we had gotten rid of him last year. It would have been much
Yes.
better, I feel like, for the team as a whole to start fresh and
yes.
basically look at a new direction that people are going in. Because like you were saying yesterday, the getting a new coach when you get this new quarterback like that people would want to coach.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a situation like if they had looked at maybe hiring Kingsbury as the head coach and then maybe they could have looked at hiring like his coach from college as their offensive coordinator. Like you can do something like that, but bringing in just an offensive coordinator and I don't know, like that, it felt like there was more that needed to be done based on how the season has gone.
The fact that I heard that Ben Johnson was very interested in being a head coach at the Chicago Bears at the beginning of the season bothers me.
I mean, the job just never came open.
And see, the
That
thing is, like we could have possibly had Harbaugh.
Hey,
With
hey, you right,
see
and you right,
you
Mark.
never know though. Like if we had fired Eberflus, and then my concern is what happens if we fire Eberflus, okay? And then Harbaugh doesn't end up wanting to come here because people kept
Then we
saying
could have had
you
Ben
needed to
Johnson.
go. Well, but what if that didn't end up working out either?
Okay,
Like,
then we had Kingsbury.
but
not
what
as
I'm
head coach.
saying is,
We didn't
what if he
interview him
wanted to
for
go
head
to the
coach.
Commanders instead? Like, you get to a certain point where we
Listen,
had no idea of who legitimately would have been a good fit.
at the end
And
of the day, good fit or not, Kingsbury would have took another a head coach job at third if you fired Flus. If you wanted to go get Harbaugh and that was your aim, but you knew Ben Johnson wanted it too, and he decided not to, whatever. Kingsbury wants to be a head coach. Kingsbury exploits his quarterback's best traits. That's why he didn't work in Arizona. I watched him. That's why he didn't work in Arizona because he wanted more legs from Kyler. Kyler wanted to throw more, but he said, "Hey, dude, your legs are just too good not to use, not to make a thing."
This thing, you can't be running these dudes. You can't. That can't be what you're looking for. You can't just be running these dudes. Yes,
Shout out to
4 or 5
Baltimore.
times that's fine. You don't handle your business.
Shout
That's
out to
game flow.
Baltimore.
But you can't be running these dudes. What do you mean? Tell it to Baltimore. They don't just draw up runs for Lamar.
It's not the main
Lamar
thing.
runs because he can run. He
That's
also
not the
just threw
but
4
see,
main
like
thing,
touchdowns.
though.
Baltimore hasn't won
Yeah,
anything this
I
year.
know. I get
Like,
that too. Both of you are
They
right.
have not won.
I'm not saying you're wrong. What I'm saying is this: Baltimore still has, I guarantee you, 10 dedicated run plays when they need them. They practice every week, 10 dedicated run plays just in case.
Okay, and the Chiefs don't have 10 designated run plays, and they're winning.
They don't.
I'm
They
sure they
don't.
don't have 10 just ready to
They
drop
have
for
they have
Mahomes.
15 scramble plays for Mahomes, though, where he can choose to
No, it's a
run or flip.
the scramble isn't a play, it's the scramble drill. And all players
Or
need to
drill,
know
or
what the
drill, or
scramble
drill,
drill
or
is. And
drill. You can call it a drill.
we've
It
seen
works,
from Bears players that when the scramble drill is in effect, they're not really getting open when
and
Caleb is
that's my point. I
not
guarantee
really.
you, Andy Reid got those Chiefs on scramble plays. Like this was gonna happen. Scramble plays. He stopped practice. Hey, guess what? Scramble play. We finna do this. It's gonna be a scramble play. We're gonna act like we're gonna do this. We're gonna scramble. I want to see where y'all at, what y'all doing. Because that's what the situation that we're going to be in because we know who we are. And that's why I bring everything back to coaching. That's why I got 50% of my pie last week. We know the offensive line sucks. We know it. Okay, cool. They're 57th out of 32. All right, fine. How do you make it look better? I'm not saying make the playoffs. I'm not talking about wins and losses. I'm not talking about Pro Bowls, MVPs, touchdowns, or none. How do you make those plays look better as a coach when you know you ain't got it? Do we
Let's
understand? You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. But when I watch the
Yeah,
game and I watch the players and I watch their demeanor and I watch their effort, then it's hard for me to continue to keep look, I will, but
I know.
these
I
players,
know.
you
It's
gotta have
like
a talent too. Talent makes
KYP.
coaches look good. They look good. They
Yes,
make them
and
coaches look good.
I said, I'll take KYP. Know your personnel. Know
Let's
your
let's get
lines
let's
up.
get your defensive grade. Let's get what you got for the defense. Um, I wasn't too impressed with them, but I mean, they gave up 19 points, held them under that 21 mark that I guess we've been accustomed to seeing, even though Cardinals put up more than that. But what you got for the defense? C minus, C minus. One touchdown. Drake made. They had an interception. Drake May didn't necessarily look great. I'm trying to pull up his numbers now, but I like to see. I like to see minus. I think look, 15 for 25, 184 yards, one touchdown, one interception, one sack. You gave up 100 plus rushing yards again. Almost
That's
200.
why they would have got a B. I would have put in a B in the passing game. The rushing game just sucked. Like the Russian defense just was terrible. It was like you said, hey Mark, like you said, over 100, over 100 rushing yards.
Almost two. I agree.
They
With
they seem to
I
be
like
just
minus.
cut through our defensive line with a lot of their rushes. Now, when we needed to make big stops, we did, but like we needed to be able to do that more consistently,
Right.
like on first downs and stuff. But like on first downs, they were getting like 5-6 yards on their first down, but I mean, like they did their job in the sense of like they gave up only one touchdown and they held them to 4 field goals,
And they had a
and
takeaway.
and they had a takeaway. So I mean, we give them credit back before. I mean, like when we played the Jaguars, the defense gave up 17 points, and this is only a couple more points than that. And so it's like, okay, well, for me, I think C is probably good. They get a passing grade. They did well enough to not basically they held it from being a blowout.
Absolutely.
And
They
it
could have
very
got out
well
that
could
game.
have been a blowout. Like we had a couple of good red zone stops, and they were talking in the the announcers were talking about the fact that like the red zone percentage in their first 4 games or in their first 3 games was absolutely terrible, worst in the league. But in their last 4, their red zone percentage was like 89% or something for
Mm-hmm.
like best in the league as far as the Patriots since Drake May has been starting. And so being able to hold them to only one touchdown in that 5 attempts that they were able to score on, I would say, okay, that's good enough to get you a C.
All right. Well, we all can agree on the C. Well, let's give our next
I got C
grade.
minus.
C minus C. Special teams grade. What you got for us?
I don't even have to keep changing my card. C minus.
Just keep it the same.
C minus. Returning balls. I mean, Carter had a good return. I think one good return.
But then there were a couple others that were kind
of. We can fight. We can debate them, right? And then, honestly, I have to get on Tory about that punt.
that first punt, yeah.
Yeah, that went it went back. We needed that punt to be pushed back. Like we said yesterday, you're a 4th round pick, dude. I don't give a fuck if it's your first punt. Put them in the 20. Put them inside the 20. You gave them the 36, 37 because your punt bounced back. That's on you, dude. That's on him. It's on him. It's on him. But he has some other good, really, really good punts after that and all that kind of stuff. But I don't feel like they really changed the game. I don't really feel like his punt put the opposing team in a contradicting situation. And then, Cairo Santos, he's 1 for 1. I mean, he's the only person that scored that game. He's the leading scorer on the team for the season. So
He's the
I
only
can't.
score in the last 2 weeks.
He's the only scorer in the last 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying? So I can't be mad at him about those kind of things. So I'll give y'all C. I'll give y'all C for being mid as fuck. But I have to put C minus because you gotta do better.
I agree with it. I agree with the C minus. I wouldn't have been mad about a C. I agree. They weren't special. Carter had that one good return, but other than that, it was mediocre across the board. So I agree.
Basic as fuck.
My thought process was, yeah, Carter had a good return, his first return, but he made some poor decisions later on, saying like, hey, let's back away from this ball, and it hits and then bounces into like the 5 or 4 or something. And it's like you had a chance to at least fair catch it and stop that ball at like the 10, 12, but you let it bounce, and I guess maybe hoping that it was going to go into the end zone, but it didn't. So that's on you. The decision to I did think that the decision to have them re-kick that one punt that they'd had, it really didn't make much of a difference at all, because where the first punt, where Carter stopped the ball was about the 21-yard line, and the second punt they kicked it into the end zone, so it brought it out to the 20. So it really didn't make much of a difference, but like, I don't know, like Carter a couple times, it seemed like he made decisions on like whether or not to actually return it, were just kind of like how he was looking at things. And it might have been the coverage. It might have been the holes that he was seeing. He wasn't seeing something, so he just let it go. But sometimes you got to just do that fair catch and not let it take that bounce.
I mean, just catch it, just field it.
Yeah, and I don't know, like he did. There was a kickoff return that I saw that, like, he kind of he got it like 1 yard into the end zone, and he must have seen something, because he took it out, and I think he got to like the 30 or the 32 or something like that. So that was a good decision, but he made a lot of bad decisions in that sense as well, where he let things go and kind of like didn't do much. And I'm with you with the C minus. Like, Torrey could have done better. I don't really know what else to say for that special team.
I mean, you get one field goal, and there's not much that they did that helped. So
no, not even the punting. That's what I'm saying. You got one field goal, and then the punting was we antagonized him yesterday. Mark, you got on him yesterday about, and I said, hey, look, you top 10 and put it inside the 20, and I think you did it once this game.
I think there was maybe like one punt inside the 20
out of your 5 or 6 that you had to, because I know it's punt the first fucking 3 or 4 series.
Yeah, we had 8 punts today.
8. You put one inside the 20. Can't have that.
All right. Well, look. You got something else?
No. That's it.
Let's get our coaching grade in, and then we'll give it the blame game and wrap this thing up. Coaching grade, talk to us.
I'm not gonna put a card up. F.
I guess that this
F
was going.
F minus. I'm preparing 3 weeks. 3 weeks in a row, I felt like the coaching staff, all of them, offensive, defensive, special teams, all those people we talked about, run coordinator, offensive line coordinator, Jennifer, Chad, Chris, White, what is it? White House, what's his name? White House. I can't even think of all of them. You can put them back up on the screen. All y'all failed to protect home.
First home loss in like the last what
10
12?
games.
10 games?
10. 10 games. The last 10 games. F for fired. Yeah, bad truth. F for fucking fired. And then you come out and I hear you at the halftime, and I hear what you're saying is you said the same thing. It sounds like a affirmation meme. I'm so tired of Eberflus affirmations. Hey, we got this team, we got each other. No, we need to cover better. We need to do better on man to man. We need to run better. Hey, look, the old line need to block better. Whatever. But every single halftime you come out and give these vague, even what we just heard him say when y'all heard him in the press conference. Vague. That's vague. We pay you millions and millions of dollars. And I don't say we because it's not my money. It's kind of my money because I buy y'all merchandise and I do all of this shit and decorate my fucking house for it. Spend a lot of the money I don't have to. But come on. Be honest. What you say, Mark? No emotions, no antics, just football. Our coaching staff don't perceive that to the media. Our players do it more than they do. And it don't look like it reflects on the field. So I give them an F.
I agree. Look, F. There's not much you can say. There's a lot of issues wrong with this. A lot of things wrong with this team right now. I wish this Facebook user thing. I don't know why that's happening now. I gotta fix that. I'm gonna take the week to fix that. But look, I agree with the F. I agree with it. There's not much to say. There's not much else to say. Last 3 weeks has been atrocious from the coaching staff. Devin?
Yeah, same thing. F. I mean, what else can you say other than the fact that these guys seem to not be changing? Like, things seem to keep going the way that they've been going. And if they want to keep playing the way that they've been playing for the past couple of weeks, then that's fine. But, like, you're going to get bad grades for it then. But I got to go, you guys. So it was nice hanging out with y'all. And I'll see you guys next week.
All right. Have a good night, man. Be smooth.
All right, bro. All right. I don't know the whole thing about the Titans offensive line coach thing, bad truth. I don't know about all of that. But I do know that you did say if players can be benches, why not coaches? I hear you on that. I definitely we came out and the bye week is not for like the players to get better. It is for the coaches, administrative staff, especially before the trade deadline, to do better. And that's when I jump on your wagon, Mark, of we should have tried to do something else on that offensive line before the trade line. We should have went and got, and I know you hate for me to say it, we could have went and got another second string, third string, somebody else's offensive lineman that they didn't
I was
like.
gonna say that. I don't think it would have mattered.
I don't think it would have mattered.
A stud, and it wouldn't have mattered.
I don't think it would have mattered, but for me, it would have been like, I'm trying. I'm still swinging. I'm a little dizzy. My knees wobbly. My midsection is done. I don't know if you watch boxing, but I'm still swinging.
Losing the Washington game and losing the Cardinals game, I think that affected whether he was going to make any real moves. Maybe if we won those two games and we were sitting here at what?
I think if we would have won the Commanders game, deflected the Hail Mary, lost how we lost to the Cardinals, we would feel a little bit better because if you watch, like I said, I was there. If you'd have watched that command, that was a fight. The players out of a week off, a week of rest, being with their families, their wives, their kids, their mamas, their daddies, their uncles, their aunties, and all of that kind of stuff, and getting that love and rapport, those dudes were fighting that game. That's why Washington didn't have a touchdown till the last seconds of the game. But because the coaches, I text y'all, I said, I just watched Arizona State call a timeout before a basically Hail Mary pass that I think it's USC or whoever they was playing had to throw a Hail Mary or try to throw a Hail Mary because they had 2 more timeouts. I think we had 2 more timeouts. Call a timeout. You know why they called a timeout and they showed it? It's because the head coach called timeout, went out in defense. He shook every single player hands and said, let's get this done. Let's get this over with. Lock the fuck in. Y'all did great. They didn't score a touchdown. Y'all is the dogs. Y'all monsters of the midway. Y'all the Bears. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what I mean about coaching. I don't even mean about scheming up plays in a sense. It's motivation is about 80% of it. You play football. I play football. I play basketball. I play volleyball too. I played a lot of sports. The best thing that I got out of a lot of those times was when my coach took me to the side. I took him to the side and said, y'all bad dudes. Y'all bad. Y'all got this. Even when we was losing, y'all did y'all best. Y'all hung in there. They were better, but y'all still hanging in there. Don't hang your head. Go out and finish strong.
I also know what a coach looks like when they don't have control of the locker room and when they don't have the trust of their players. That's what happened today. Like I said, we didn't criticize the defense, but you gave up too many points today.
You gave too many points.
That's letting me know when you give up 29 to the Cardinals and you give up 19 to the Patriots, 2-17. We've held better teams, under 19.
Under that.
It's showing me what's going on with this team in the locker room.
And we think about it.
Texans scored 19.
19, the Texans. So the Texans is the Patriots? With everybody. They had Stephon Diggs. They had Nico Collins. They had Tank Dell. They had the running back.
Joe Mixon.
28. Joe Mixon. Yeah. He got hurt after that game. You see what I'm saying? Like, we held them. And you saying that you can't coach your defense who's missing one person?
That when I saw the defense start to waver like this, and it started with the Cardinals, I knew that this is because Eberflus kept his job because of the defense.
Yeah.
Matt was here because of the defense, and the defense isn't doing what we've known them to do. Let's do our blame game, and then we'll wrap this up. I'm interested to hear who you blame. You want me to go first?
You go first, but you know how.
Oh yeah, I do. Now that
let's blame the same person.
You can't. Nah, yeah, I'm not blaming the same person. You was talking so much about Caleb, so I thought maybe that's who you'd go with. Mm-hmm. I'm blaming the offensive line. Offensive line is 9 sacks is unacceptable. I don't care about the optics of, or I don't care about anything else.
You gonna hang that 19.
Protect your quarterback.
19 weeks.
Dude, your whole job is to protect the quarterback. Protect him. You should devote your life on that field to protecting the quarterback. You did not do that today. Not even close. Not even a little bit close. They failed. They failed more than the coaches today. They failed more than Caleb. They failed more than the wide receivers and even the running backs. That offensive line was the weakest unit on the field today on both teams. Blame game, offensive line.
Okay,
Easy.
cool. I love like how you like to take the first exit on the freeway. Like we knew that week 1 though. We could
No,
always.
you didn't. No, you didn't. No,
They
y'all
were
did
the
not.
weakest.
Especially
They
you,
were the
West.
weakest still. I didn't
West.
criticize them the most. But we knew week 1 they were the weakest unit. No?
It's really
Did I not say that?
This you keep week
I
1
said
don't
even
matter. This is not the line we had week 1. This was backups to backups. The backups to the
Right.
backups. No, ain't no right. You keep talking about week 1. We didn't know we was gonna have backups to the backups. Didn't Ryan Poles just tell us this was the deepest O-line room he's had? If they're so goddamn deep, we should be able to be fine when we have our backups come in. And our backups to the backups. This ain't a deep. They're not deep. They got a bunch of guys. They have enough guys.
And I think that's what he
field
was
9
saying.
offensive.
That's what
not
I
what
think.
deep
And
means.
everybody
That's
else
not what he
do.
was saying. That's not what he was
And
saying. If
I'm
deep
giving.
means you have
I'm giving. I'm saying that's what he was thinking when he
that's
said
not
that.
what he was
I'm
saying.
with you on it. I'm
No,
with
you're
you
not,
on it.
'cause that's not what he was thinking. When you say
Okay,
I have
cool.
a deep room of anything, O-line, DBs, anything, that means you have a plethora of quality players outside of your starting group. That's what deep means. They don't have a plethora of
I never
starting
said that.
O-line. No. I'm saying that's what Ryan Poles said.
I know what
Trust
you're
me.
saying. I'm saying what
Nobody,
I
when you
said.
talk about sports, when you say I have a deep QB room or I have a deep running back room, that means you can start your third stringer and you be okay because you're so deep. Just because you have a guy there doesn't mean you're deep. We got guys there. We're not deep at all. At all.
What I'm saying is this. We know since week 1, the weakest room on this team was the offensive line. I know you don't like Javon. I know I
What
know
has he done?
Pickett, he had a decent game today. He was decent.
He didn't have a decent game, nothing. We had one
How?
sack. We had one sack. We gave up almost 200
Who
yards.
had the one sack though?
I don't know who had the one sack.
Javon Dexter.
Oh my God.
He had the one sack. He had the one sack. That's why I said.
Weak.
That's why I just said. I didn't say he's great. I said
he had a bad game.
I said he was decent. He was decent.
He was not decent.
He was decent.
Ran over.
He was decent. It's not just him. He was decent. He stopped
the
3.
Patriots.
He stopped 3 against the Patriots. 2-7. That's why I just give him decent. I give you decent. You did what,
and that's our issue now. You said the O-line was decent coming into this year too. It's not. You said the same thing. If you
serviceable is what I said.
It's not serviceable. You cannot bring a rookie quarterback.
No.
You cannot. No, ain't not no more. You
cannot
because
we now don't have to. We just had Kramer for two quarters.
The same dude we just gave a handoff to and he fumbled is now protecting our quarterback.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
What you're saying. You defended the O-line all show, and now you're saying that Javon Dexter, Javon Dexter, he got a lot to work on. He knows.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. I never said that. You cannot quote me on saying that he doesn't have to keep working. Tonight.
They got ran over, and it starts with him.
They got ran over. It's not just him.
I never said that. Do you want to talk about another player? Bring up another player, and I'll tell you how bad they were.
Austin Booker was terrible.
Austin Booker
was terrible. Montez Sweat was a non-factor.
Exactly. But guess what?
You see what I'm saying? That's why I give Javon this game decent.
He wasn't.
He was better than the rest of them.
Not decent.
He was better than the rest of them.
Not even close.
Tremaine Edmonds was bad.
You know who makes Tremaine the linebacker's job easy? Because Greg. I was a linebacker. The D line has to keep the linebackers clean. You have to eat up blocks. You have to eat up space and it starts with that D line.
But Tremaine wasn't nowhere where he's supposed to be. He wasn't nowhere who he was supposed to be. TJ was where he was supposed to be half the time. Tremaine was not there none of the times. 49 was not nowhere near none of the plays. Run nor pass.
But like I said, that D line.
He made some tackles.
Didn't play well.
But so did Elijah Hicks. They got the same amount of tackles. 80 million versus I don't know what Elijah Hicks makes. Same amount of tackles again.
He's overpaid. Tremaine is overpaid.
Yes.
But
that's why I give him.
It starts in the trenches. You keep going away from the trenches.
I'm not going away. I'm not putting blame nowhere else.
It starts with the D line and it starts with the O line.
All I said was
don't blame the quarterback. Don't blame the wide receivers. It starts in the trenches. It starts with Dexter. To keep you know why Urlacher and Lance Briggs were so good? They had a D line to keep them clean so they can flow. You know, Tommy Harris, Alex Brown.
Alex Brown was all right, decent.
Oh my God. Okay. All right.
Harris, yeah, you give me Harris, I'll give you that. But Montez Sweat didn't do shit.
Exactly. Look, Montez didn't do a goddamn thing. He ain't been doing a goddamn thing. He's having a down year. And he get paid more than 80 million.
And that's why that's why I give Dexter decent. I'm not going to yell because he got a sack.
Dexter ain't do shit.
Dexter did though, dude. He did. He had one stop. Something. He had 7 stops. He did collapse the pocket like we want him to, for sure.
This is a 4-3 scheme. You can't be average at the 3 technique.
He did. He had 7.
Andrew Billings is better than him.
He is. We do. I'm not saying you're wrong, but to say that he didn't do shit is
he didn't do a damn thing.
Right.
Do a damn thing. I'm not getting
okay. A sack is nothing.
You serious? That ain't shit.
A sack is nothing. How many sacks we have last week?
He could have got the first last game and they gave up 19 points to 2-7 Patriots.
How many sacks we had last game?
No, ain't fuck the sacks. How many yards did their running backs have again?
How many running backs did they have last week?
Defensive tackles don't get sacks. That's not their thing. Are you controlling the line of scrimmage? Are you collapsing the pocket? Are you keeping those running lanes closed up? No, they are not. Hell no.
They didn't. He did.
Oh my God. Okay.
Let me look at what he had.
Exactly. Look, Barlissimo, you're saying our defensive line is a single gap system. Yes, which means you need to be in your gaps. If you're in your gaps, it makes it easier.
He handled his gap today, though,
and make tackles. Guess what? If you're not handling your gaps, if you're not taking up blocks, offensive linemen can hit you and move on to the second level. That's the offensive line's job. Move to the second level. Monster game. Look, I'm telling you right now, you can't tell me a defensive coach who'll be okay with giving up that many rushing yards.
Oh no, I'm not okay with giving up it.
They were bad across the board.
Yes, they were bad across the board.
Across the board.
But the only person I can say was decent was Javon Dexter. 99
shit. Dexter ain't gonna give no credit from me. Not from me.
I know he not.
Why would I give him credit? He played like a swing, like a rotational piece on the D line, and we need him to be a 4.
Montez Sweat played like a 3rd stringer.
We're not talking about Montez. So you want to talk about Montez because you keep bringing up.
I am talking. No, my whole thing is this. Like, I am being comparative in this game.
Montez didn't have a game either.
I'm saying Dexter played better than Montez Sweat this game.
And this is the
is that am I right or wrong, Mark? That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say.
Not when you I'll give up 200 rush yards almost to the Patriots.
All I'm saying.
Didn't we say
what about Martin Coward versus Devon Dexter? They both in the middle. Martin Coward. Or whatever.
Byron
Coward.
Do
nothing. Absolutely nothing.
That's our problem. Look, Bears fans can overhype Javon Dexter all day.
I'm not overhyping him.
Tommy Harris.
He's no Tommy Harris.
Like,
I'm saying this game, given what everybody did, every defensive person on the line, he did decent. He was decent.
It's like Braxton Jones being a left tackle and people saying, "Oh, he's playing good for a 5th round pick." I don't give a fuck. That is a staple.
Did he play better than the other person on the line?
Who? Chris Williams, who he don't play better than Andrew Billings when he's in there.
He wasn't there today. I'm talking about today's game. That's why I said this game. He was.
If you want to,
yes, overall they suck.
Sure,
they suck.
Drinking your flowers on Javon. I guarantee you,
decent. I'm not saying good. I'm not saying good.
Be better.
I'm not saying good. He definitely needs to be good.
It was horrible.
He got a sack. He got a sack. He got like 2 stops on a run. He got that was the best I can. I can't talk about nobody else.
I can't
do more. Definitely.
You talked about
do more.
Do more to Jalen Johnson, but you saying you can't talk about nobody else.
I said on the defensive line. On the defensive line. On the defensive line is what I'm saying.
He didn't do shit.
Out of the entire defense, yeah, he didn't do shit out of the entire defense. I can give it to JJ. I can give it to Kyler. I can give it to TJ. Out of the entire defense, I'm saying the defensive line.
We're talking about blame game. Who's your blame? Who
Montez Sweat. I blame him for not showing up. You had a day off. You had a week off. You had 2 weeks to get your shit together.
He had a buy off and didn't do shit when he played against Washington.
Against Washington,
Montez
did do shit.
Is one of our best guys against Washington.
And you supposed to be. That's where you came from. You were supposed to be. You supposed to have that revenge game thing that people talk about, all that kind of stuff, which I don't believe in. But
so why you don't bring up his $98 million contract like you bring up Tremaine Edmonds' $80 million contract? I haven't heard you say 98.
Because his performance at the end of last season kind of got me like it's kind of like Keenan Allen's history. It's like I don't want to say Keenan Allen fucking suck, but he sucks for us right now.
Keenan Allen?
Yeah. He had a couple good catches today. Okay. But it borderline decent. It's decent. Keenan Allen was decent today. He got us a couple first downs. Cool, decent. But was it Keenan Allen? The Keenan Allen that we know the name to be? Nah. Montez Sweat from last season, half a season. We at the half a season this time, and you ain't even close to what you did last season on the back end of that season.
Nope.
So the only reason I'm not finna say, yo, money don't kind of really matter in the sense, it's because you did do good the last half a season for us. And I'm going to give you a wash. Now he has 0-0 with me going into the next half of the season until we go into the off season. And then I will fully be like, okay, was the $98 million worth it? The reason I get on Tremaine is because we got Tremaine in the off season and TJ is outshining you. Jack Sanborn is kind of showing you up some games. You know what I mean? That's why I'm on him. That's why I'm not on Cole Kmet's $50 million. It's because I'm like, well, he's blocking, he's long snapping. When he does get targeted and get the ball,
Cole can't block. He can block sometimes, but he is blown up.
I mean, he does. I mean, by defensive tackles, I mean he's a tight end. But defense, he ain't getting blown up by no linebackers, no corners.
I don't know who it is, but he be getting blown the fuck up.
Defensive ends, but he 50-50. He's a 50-50 on defensive ends. I guarantee I will find it. I'll send it to you. I'll text you outside of the show when he pancaked like 3 of them today. Like 3 defensive ends. Put them down.
This is what I had. This is the issue I had with Bears.
And my whole thing is this. That's what he shouldn't have to though.
5 plays where Cole stinks.
Yes. But my whole thing is he shouldn't have to. Like you said, the offensive line should take care of that. 5 against 4. They should take care of that. He shouldn't have to get blown up by defensive end.
If you should take care of what?
The defense, the offensive line should be taking care of the
No,
foot.
not when they're third stringers.
No.
And what did you
That's
say?
my point. That's my point. That's my point about your statement that the offensive line sucked. Cole Kmet should not have to be taking on defensive. Now, if you like, oh well, linebackers is blowing them up and all that kind of stuff. All right, cool. That's the next level. He shouldn't have to be taking on 300-pound people as a tight end. He shouldn't have to.
Javon, who we're talking about, should be wrecking the game. That is an important position.
I wish he could. And I give him decent.
Can't play
only in the
4-3
game
without
because
it.
He
You
better
can't play this
because
scheme
he did better than the people who played on offensive line. Should he do better?
Today.
Did I want more today? Yeah.
He didn't do better last week.
Oh yeah, no, he's a D. He's a D. His name is Dexter. He's a D constantly. Maybe an F most of the time. For sure. I'm with you on that. I'm just saying he got us a sack. He stopped a few runs, just like JJ did. He stopped a few runs. Kyler missed.
This is the Braxton Jones conversation. They are fine
Braxton
as
Jones.
rotational pieces. They are not starters at their position. They're just not to me.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I didn't say it. I'm not patting his back.
4-5 now with these same dudes that y'all keep praising like they're not.
Oh my God, I am not praising them.
Yes, y'all are. Like Javon is.
I just said he did better than Montez Sweat today.
Why are you saying that? What's the point of you saying that? We're talking about blame game. I don't care who did better than who on a day where we didn't do shit. I really don't. That's like saying
my blame game was Montez Sweat.
Matt Pryor did better than. So, all right, your blame game was Montez Sweat.
Montez Sweat, I blame him for not doing it. Because you brought something up about him. I said at least Dexter was decent, and you said, "Oh no, he wasn't." Blah blah. That's how we got into that.
I don't know who blamed our tight end for giving up 9 sacks today.
Nobody
blamed him for giving. But if your job is to block on a pass play, you better goddamn block. I don't care what
he does.
Talking about here. Go play football. Right. I don't care if you were bad. You were better than somebody that was bad. All of you were bad. We're talking about unit here. As an O-line and D-line, you are a unit.
Yes. Both lines. The trenches
and then Barlissimo brings up Jalen Carter. This is what I'm talking about. Nobody brought up Jalen Carter tonight. I don't know why he's entering the chat. Just like people sneak in Jaden Daniels. They sneak in Jaden Daniels' name in there for what? We're not talking about Jaden Daniels, Jalen Carter, or any of these dudes. We're talking about the guys that's on the Bears roster.
Right.
Who need to step up and play better. Because we're 4-5 and they're not playing good. Not
Montez
one of them.
98 million, like you said. 98 million. I should have had a sack today.
Boy.
And you had the day off last week. I should have had a sack. That's why I said Dexter. That's why I came up. And I'm not praising him. I'm contrasting him to how bad Montez Sweat was
They're all
today.
Really bad. They suck.
They all stink. Really bad. Yeah, they stink.
Or if that D-line was any good, especially the D tackles, we wouldn't be giving up the rushing yards that we give up.
We had one sack. We had one sack. Usually in most games, we have 3 or 4. Just on bad games. On bullshit games. We at least got 3 sacks.
It's a bad unit. It's a bad group.
It's a bad group, bad unit. Montez supposed to anchor that. He's supposed to came back and did better. That's how we got into the Javon Dexter. Do I think Javon Dexter is this world peace starter? Absolutely not.
He's
absolutely not.
Forget numbers, because I see a lot of numbers get talked about.
Absolutely
Look at
not.
Film and tell me how many plays you could take and be like, okay, he dominated.
Absolutely
he dominated. Not even getting the sack.
Absolutely
Show me when
not.
he dominates his block. I look at the film every week. I look at Javon Dexter and the dude is just he's soft.
I'm saying I hear what you're saying. My whole thing to bring him up, and when I said it, I was saying that Montez Sweat was worse than Javon Dexter, and I know how you feel and how we see Javon Dexter. And if Montez Sweat, like you said, $98 million, is under that in this game, there's a problem. Tremaine Edmonds, which was $80 million under TJ Edwards with an interception and more tackles. That's a problem.
I know you
Jalen
see that generational. Why do y'all care so much with NFL? And like, don't we look at our own? Don't we have our own opinions? Jalen Carter was generational, this and that, and the third. No,
that's
he's
what
not.
they was
Miles
supposed to
Garrett
say.
is generational. He wasn't Miles Garrett in college. That's generational. But just because we heard what's his name for NFL Network, one of the dudes that do the draft every
We
year.
should have took. If that's the case, then we should have took. Like I said, if we was going to
over Darnell Wright, no. I'm taking Jalen Carter over Darnell Wright. Still to this day, that O-line is atrocious. Darnell Wright has not played good this year. I'm not going to compare Javon Dexter and Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is better than me. I'm taking him. I don't care what the numbers show. That man is definitely
all right. We talking about some years ago drafts. Come on, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes over Mitch Trubisky.
Right, but I'm talking about the comment that was placed here.
Yeah, I know. I'm commenting to the comments, not to you per se, Mark. I'm just in the comments, like, okay, we get it. Cool.
I hate when Bears fans start to do this because we're doing it again.
We doing it again
in the off season. We need to reevaluate what we call good because it's not good. It's never good.
Stop being tricked. We got tricked. This is what happened when we took Mitch Trubisky. We got tricked. We listened to that thing, and I'm not trying to say we got tricked this year. I'm holding on, and I'm not gonna do it this season or next season either. That's what they were saying. That's the word and the term they said, and I'm not even gonna hold on until next season. I'll wait till after next season, off season, before I say, yeah, okay, yeah, we got tricked. Simply because I know that O-line was trash, and I knew we didn't have no good O-line and nothing that was gonna come out the draft to fix it.
Miles Garrett is a DN, bro. You aren't even comparing the same position. Oh,
so what? God. Barlissimo, so what?
Barlissimo.
He better. Go right ahead, Mark. Go. You can take it. It's my birthday.
My point is, keep using that generational talent. That's a thing against people like Jalen Carter, and they're using it against Caleb Williams here in Chicago. And just because Mel Kiper, that's his name, just because Mel Kiper said he was generational, we all do our own scouting. Like generation, if that's what you choose to use to describe a guy, that's fine. But Jalen Carter ain't generational, and Caleb Williams ain't generational either. He's good.
I just want to understand. Do people know what generational mean? That means Caleb Williams will start a football game in my lifetime. My grandkids and great grandkids will see him be great. That's generational. That's more than one lifetime of a person.
This is what I'm talking about. Javon is, dude. Look, I'm not about to keep having this Javon conversation because if you're like, it's this simple, Wes. It's this simple to me. If you are going to play a 3 technique in this defensive scheme, you better be a force. I don't care about any other. Nobody else.
Right. I hear what you're saying. I hear what they're saying too. They're saying he's just playing better than the other defensive linemen on our team. Comparative to the NFL and everybody else on the planet Earth, that could be a defensive tackle. Javon Dexter ain't it. He ain't it.
Well, he's saying Dexter is playing better than. I'll put it back up. He's saying Dexter is playing better than all of the other D tackles.
That's not true. I will not say that.
He's not.
I'm not saying, Mark, listen, let me say this to you. I am not saying that. What I'm saying is, compared to what we have on our, just this, it's the black bear part, just the bear sense. decent. And that's decent on the Bears team compared to other defensive tackle, the other 31 teams. Nah, dog. Not even. Trash. I give you that, Mark. Trash compared to the other teams on the. But for what we got and what we doing, hey, look, he decent. He ain't, give me a sack. He had 5 sacks, I think, this season right now, maybe 6. Okay, decent. It's better than the last year you had, your rookie year.
Oh, for sure.
You see what I'm saying?
God.
Decent. You decent. You decent. Okay, cool. Can you be better? Do I want you to be better? Do I want you to be shaking planets in a world record? Of course. Has he got there? Not at all. Not even close.
Well,
that's all I'm saying, Mark. So just so we get it.
Your blame game went to Montez.
I'll give it to Montez Sweat. I don't want to take it away from the coaches because I already said my not so great was the coaches. My blame of the game was Montez Sweat. If he would have been like he was and been so a force against this terrible offensive line, because you're Montez Sweat, you should have been wrecking shop. You should have been the bull in the china shop, dude. That's my blame.
100%.
And then at the end of the game, it wasn't really his fault. But then now on TV, it's like, oh, offsides, Montez Sweat. 98.
Oh, that was his fault. That was his fault.
That was his fault. It was his fault. And my whole thing is, I don't.
Because he stopped playing. Like he gave up.
Yeah, he gave up. That's what I'm saying. But it's not his fault that he gave up. He gave up because it was end of the game, and that's coaching.
Tyree Stevenson gave up.
Gave up at the end of the game.
And
why? Why do some of our best player at the last 60 seconds of the game have brain fart?
Preach. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Montez Sweat is Montez Sweat. We know who he is. How does he get a offsides? When the last time he had an offsides play? Penalty on him. Since last year. When the last time he had one? When he was in a Commander's jersey, maybe. I think that's the first offsides he's had as a Bear.
These dudes think we had Hard Knocks come in. All of this hype, especially with Caleb. And
don't let me get on. You know how I felt about that.
All of this hype coming in, and they're just not what they thought they were coming into this season. They're not what the Bears fans thought they were coming into this season. So
you said that three different episodes or 4 different episodes. You said that Hard Knocks thing, and I said I think I prefer we don't do it.
I think they would have sucked this way, even if
either way. But we don't have to say like, oh yeah, because we was in Hard Knocks, they thought they had their jock straps up. At least I could say like that wasn't a reason. But to be like,
the reason they're so big at Caleb coming into this team made everybody just think in the fans, but the players too, whether they're gonna say it or not. And even if they gonna criticize him like he's a rookie, this and that and the third, they even thought like, oh my God, we got this generational talent. They call him this. We got him that. Hey, we can't be beat. We got the defense. We can't be beat. We can't be stopped. Yes, you got your ass whooped.
Yeah, you got your ass whooped. You got your ass whooped. Basically, week 1, you got your ass whooped.
Yeah, so I mean that's Caleb, and he brings expectations because he's been great everywhere he's played. So the Bears aren't stepping up to that plate. Caleb isn't either. So look,
we get out of here. Let's get out of here, man. Let's get out of here. Hey, look, I just want to say before I get up out of here, I probably have one more comment before we get up out of here, but. Happy birthday to all my Marines, man. If y'all at the American Legion in Mesa, I'm going to be there. We're going to party. We're going to cut the cake. Oldest Marine, youngest Marine things. I would like to thank all my Marine brothers and sisters for your service, whether you deployed or not. I got 3 deployments under my belt, Iraq, Afghanistan, twice. But I love y'all. If you know a Marine, if you know somebody that is Marine, or you know somebody that know Marine, wish that person happy birthday, male or female. wish him a happy birthday, man, because I ain't gonna lie, man. For what I went through when I was in the service, my 3 deployments, what I went through, man, it was hard. Coming here, this is my kind of my therapy. You know what I mean? For me to talk Bears football, it gets me through the week every time. I hate missing the episode. Mark will tell you, I hawk y'all on about, you know what I'm saying? If doing the episode, as we doing the episode, he'll tell you. And hey, look, I love y'all, man, and I just wanted to put that out there. Shout out to all my veteran friends who's watching. I know a bunch of y'all tapped in and y'all added and subscribed. Thank y'all so much. I got Air Force people that tapped in today, Navy people that tapped in and text me today. I love all y'all. Thank y'all so much. And also to all my service members who are out of the service, who are not active, happy Veterans Day tomorrow. So if you do know a service member, tomorrow, wish them a happy Veterans Day tomorrow. For all those who serving us out, they might be a cashier at your grocery store, they might be driving your bus, or the teacher at your kid's school. Wish those veterans a happy birthday, because we put our life on the line for us to do these Bears podcasts at the least. So thank y'all so much. I love y'all. That's all I really want to say, Mark. Thank you for giving me that.
No, for sure. And happy Veterans Day. We won't see y'all tomorrow, so we won't see y'all the next week. So appreciate that message, Wes. Look, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, the Black Bear Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Rod, with my co-host Chef West to the right of me, usually at the bottom of the map. But look,
I know I got a good space. Thank you, Dad, for getting up out of here. Now I feel equal. No, I'm just playing.
Look, hit the like button, help us grow, help the channel grow. We here every week, Saturdays and Sundays for post-game shows. So look, have a good rest of y'all Sunday night, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.